So Jacinda Ardern says the attacker was under 24/7 police surveillance and that officers shot him around 60 seconds after the rampage began. Witnesses described the attacker picking up a knife from a display and then stabbing people. Dave?
Simon, an ISIS terrorist known as one of the Beatles for their British accents and beheading videos, has pleaded guilty in a Virginia federal court last night. Alexander Annan-Cody admitted his role in hostage-taking and the murder of Americans. Captured in 2018, Cody will get life in prison. America's listening to Fox News.
This is 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News, right all along. On the radio, on your smart speaker, and online at rightallalong.net.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. I-75 southbound. We have a crash near the Colonial Boulevard exit around mile marker 137. Looks like a vehicle spun out onto the left-hand shoulder, and we have a left lane blocked with law enforcement just arriving on scene, checking for injuries. So tracking backups coming down from Palm Beach Boulevard and MLK Jr. Boulevard, State Road 82 toward Colonial right now. You can take Ortiz Avenue or US 41 to get around the delays and the backups out there. Otherwise, 41 looking pretty good for your morning drive. If you're heading out on the bridges between the Cape and Fort Myers, all up running at about 2 to 3 minutes in each direction. It is a very slick morning drive out there, though, so just take it slow and be extra cautious. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. We are heading into the upcoming holiday weekend, and today, kind of a wet way to end out the work week. Look for additional showers as we head throughout this morning with a cloudier sky. Scattered thunderstorms developing throughout the afternoon with a few persisting on into this evening, with temperatures only set to top off in the upper 80s for most. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for your Labor Day weekend. All days featuring scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures should be a little bit warmer with a little bit more sunshine in the mix, with highs in the lower 90s and added humidity feeling like the upper 90s to lower 100s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking about my friends at AMCO of Bonita Springs, 992-2626. It's 992-2626. Whatever is going on with your vehicle, they will fix it and fix it right. They are a great conservative business. And I can tell you they have a great local reputation for doing good work. And they also have an awesome customer base. It's been established over the past 13 years. So give them a call at 239-992-2626 so you can arrange to meet with them. Let them know you heard about it right here on 92.5 Fox News and Drew Steele. By the way, talk about great conservatives. They've built the American Spirit movement, a place where conservative consumers and businesses can connect in 5 critical areas. You know, you've got your vote, but you also have your wallet, the cash register, supporting conservative businesses. So go to the American Spirit Marketplace. You can keep conservative dollars in conservative pockets, block by block, city by city, states by state. We're going to build this up. Go to the American Spirit Movement website at americanspiritmovement.com. It's more than a conservative movement. It's a conservative awakening.
True relief for back and neck pain. Back pain, neck pain, we hear so much about it every day, but most people never understand what causes it. Very often, it is more than just sore muscles. Many times, it is caused by disc and nerve compression in the spine. This is very often not addressed. The only way to get pressure off the discs in the spine is to decompress the discs. Here at Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, non-surgical spinal decompression is a specially designed computerized table to provide gentle, precise pulling to draw pressure off the discs and release the nerves. This process draws blood back into the discs, allowing them to heal. Completely safe and comfortable for any age. No hanging upside down. Patients with stenosis sciatica, bulging discs, neuropathy, scoliosis all find great, long-lasting relief with decompression. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now, there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Introducing the Fpl Energy Manager, a new way to take control of your energy use and your bill.
I want to sing with somebody. I want to get my bills down today.
You can monitor, analyze, even simulate your energy use and save.
It's the song that I want to that shows me how. Oh, I want to sing with somebody.
Find savings to sing about at fpl.com/takecontrol.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
At Lamps Plus, we believe your home should be a celebration of you. As the nation's largest lighting retailer, Lamps Plus offers an incredible selection of lighting, furniture, and home decor that are sure to bring out your unique style. We help customers just like you every day beautify their indoor and outdoor spaces, and at the flip of a switch, see their home in a whole new light. Because if you can dream it, you should have it. There are infinite possibilities to bring your home to life at Lamps Plus, including custom order on-demand pieces that match your personal taste and color preference. Select from over 50,000 styles from top designer brands, including Uttermost, with a huge assortment of table lamps, floor lamps, chandeliers, and mirrors to add elegance and style to any room in your home. And now, Lamps Plus offers free shipping on all orders. Yep, free. For up to 50%.
Evacuation is over.
Go to lampsplus.com/Fox News now. That's lampsplus.com/Fox News for up to 50% off. Shop Lamps Plus and let yourself shine.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn unlimited 4% cash back on dining out or in.
Check.
4% back on entertainment.
Is that good?
All right, just wanted to be sure. We're good to go.
Yeah, okay. I'm ready
popular
whenever
streaming.
you are.
About 15 seconds.
And now, 3% back at grocery stores so you can make the cake that makes her day.
Happy birthday to you.
So earn unlimited cash back for going out or staying in with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is live. It is here. It is going on right now at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. It is our first Friday of the month with Oaks Farm Seed to Table, and we are so excited to be here and the opportunity to be here once again with you live. Hopefully you'll stop by because there's a whole lot going on this morning. Coming up this morning, what are we going to be doing? Let's see. From what I understand, later on this morning, we're going to hear from Roger Stone. That ought to be interesting. There's something going on that is happening here in Southwest Florida he's going to be a part of and you can be a part of, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about that. Also, there's a great new patriotic song called We Are Americans that is done by someone named Ben Allen. I don't know if anybody knows who Ben Allen is. There you go, a little applause. Ben Allen did this great new song, and they had sent it to me the other day. My good friend Alan James, who wrote it with him, along with some other folks, and I loved it. And so I thought, well, it would be really cool if Ben Allen would come here to perform the song this morning, and so he will be here to perform the song live coming up later this morning, so we're looking forward to that as well. Kind of the way to kick off the holiday weekend. You know, I'm thinking that with everything that has been going on and has transpired in the past couple of weeks, I was just thinking to myself, it would be really nice if we went into the holiday weekend and had a little bit of patriotism. Is everybody all right with a little bit of patriotism after everything that's been going? Thank you very much. Because it's getting to the point right now where, you know, there are so many people that talk to me, and I got to be honest, you know, there are people that are worried. They're worried about what's going on with the country. They've been worried for months, quite honestly, for years what's been going on. They have seen a lot of what has transpired here, whether it's collusion hoaxes or whether it's impeachments that aren't impeachments until you understand that there are presidents that are actually doing things that you're concerned about that may actually be impeachable. You know, like phone calls that are made to individuals that are from the Taliban or others to try to make things look and perceive that there's something going on when there isn't something. You know, hey, by the way, maybe there might be something in it for you. I'm wondering if that is a quid pro Joe or quo pro or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, we'll get to some of that coming up. This morning also, some of the stories that I have been following through the past 24 hours. You didn't think, as awful as it has been, for those that are on the Gulf Coast, for those that have been there in New England and in the North Atlantic region, that you knew that there was a lot of trouble that's been happening with regard to the weather, and I described some of it yesterday. Our good friend Mike Opelka, pureopelka.com, was sending me videos and photos of his witnessing of the subways and what was going on there, and the water just gushing through and tornadoes hitting his home in his area there that he lives near Delaware and Philadelphia and areas of New York City. It's just awful what has transpired. But I'm wondering how many of you thought for 1 second that we couldn't get 24 hours, maybe even 12 hours, past an event like that where we couldn't stop, take a breath. Well, not you, but others that couldn't stop and take a breath and focus on the tragedy that is happening and unfolding before our eyes, because nature is evil and awful sometimes and dangerous and, all kinds. I don't know if it's evil. I guess maybe that's not the way to put it, but sometimes you look at the weather and like it is this morning here, it's pouring down rain where you're like, this is evil. This rain, I'm trying to get in to see the show and see the table and it's pouring down rain. But anyway, the point is that you didn't think we would go 12 hours with somebody mentioning climate change. Of course they did, because you can't let crisis go to waste, even though there are individuals who are struggling to figure out what they're going to do next, whether it's the flooding or the deaths or the issues of trees falling on homes and all of the things that power outages. Could we just wait and take a breath for 1 second before we start jumping into the climate change? No. Not when you have the left running the show in this country. You just can't do it. So there's some awful examples of that coming up that I'll have some audio. Also, some of the other things, including, I know people don't like to touch on abortion. They don't like to talk about it. Sometimes they just don't want to hear it. I mean, there are people right now that could be listening to the sound of my voice and they hear the word and all of a sudden it's fingers and ears. They don't want to know. They don't want to see. There's other things to talk about. Well, not necessarily when you have something that right now is being presented to us as a Supreme Court that is going to get rid of Roe v. Wade, when that's not what the Supreme Court did at all. Can we get a little bit of truth, a little bit of honesty in the reporting, and a little bit with regard to what exactly took place, and then have the discussion later on? Look, if you want to have the discussion in deep detail, we had some yesterday about the issue. But certainly, this is something that isn't going away. It's not one of these issues where you're going to kick a can down the road. Soon that can is going to have to be crushed and put into the disposal or into the recycle or wherever you put a can. If it's my son, it's under his bed. There's multiple. I don't know why he does it. He seems like every time it's a cleaning of the room situation. I don't know if anybody has kids or has ever had that issue, but how many of you have had kids, and when you tell them to clean the room, you understand that means everything goes under the bed. And then one day you move the bed out because something's wrong with the bed, and all of a sudden there's food and there's living creatures and there's somebody having a party in there and there's a homeless guy and there's all kinds of stuff going under your bed because your son has been tossing things underneath. Boy, do I have issues with that. And I'm even talking about it. I shouldn't even do that. All right, anyway, so if you're listening, clean your room. Just don't put it under your bed. Okay, so we'll get to some of that coming up in just a bit as well. All right, this is the one thing I wanted to start this morning with is, again, we knew that the crisis, the awful situation, everything that went down in Afghanistan, knowing that it is Joe Biden's fault, knowing that everybody can see what transpired. Everybody knows that this president did not have to do what he did and what the military elites did as well. It didn't have to go down this way. And for those people that are trying to spin out of it and make it seem like it's something that it's not, understand that we have something called the interwebs. We have video. We have people that are on the ground. We have enough people to understand what could and couldn't happen. And the false choice that Joe Biden tells us and has been telling us, and some on the left that have been telling us that there was no way. I mean, this was going to happen no matter what. This false choice. Either we get out of a 20-year war, which, by the way, it hasn't been a 20-year war. It hasn't been a war for a very, very long time, if we're going to be quite honest about the numbers and what is actually happening on the ground. And that choice, or it was just going to devolve into exactly what happened. That's a false choice. That didn't have to happen that way, and many people understand. You all understand that, right? Here at Seed the Table, everybody understands that that's a false choice. You get that. How important that is to understand. That too many times, that's what we have in this country. We have people that are giving us a false choice. It's one way or the other way. That's it. There's no gray. There's no in between. There's nothing else. It's this side or that side, and that's it. And it's a false choice that's been given to us, and we don't have to take the false choice. So I'm not suggesting that yesterday, and I got to pull the audio because a little late getting everything started here, although I'm just glad we're on the air, so that's good, that apparently
You have the Department of Homeland Security and CNN that decided last night to flip the Afghanistan narrative back to, I'm not kidding, it's not about Afghanistan anymore. The biggest threat to the United States is not worrying about terrorists or building up in Afghanistan or anybody like that or any situation like that, because it's a new Taliban. It's the 2.0 Taliban. It's a great Taliban with 2.8 kids. They got picket fences. They're looking for 5G. They're wondering whether or not the kid's going to have a new Xbox or not, although I don't know if Xboxes are the thing. It's just the first thing that came to my mind, because as a kid, I always thought that if I had the opportunity to have an Xbox, I would love one, but I couldn't even get a Pong game, which is something that some of you may remember. How many remember Pong? Is it just me? Okay, good. That was a big deal back in the day. By the way, look it up, kids. All the youths in America, look up Pong. That was a big deal in its day. You went from, you were in the backyard digging holes and kicking balls with friends to, hey, look at this. If I spin this knob, there's a line on a screen with a thing that looks like a circle, but it's actually a square, because even back then, if you notice with Pong, did you ever notice that? The circle, the ball was never a circle. It was a square. Did anybody ever? Is that just me? Am I the only one? Nobody ever noticed that. I'm on an island. Okay. No, really. That's how primitive it was. They couldn't even get the ball to look like a circle. It was a square. That's the best that they can do. Although the paddles looked fine because they were just lines. It's a long story. But anyway, no. It's not about the Taliban 2.0. It's not about anything that you have to worry about in Afghanistan. It is white supremacists. That's right, everybody. We're back to the white supremacists that are, fill in the blank. If you are labeled a white supremacist, you know what that means. That means that you are a conservative, Constitution-loving, Trump-supporting, possibly DeSantis-loving, freedom-loving individual, and that's you. So there's CNN reporting yesterday, quote, white supremacists and anti-government extremists have expressed admiration for what the Taliban accomplished. What? I'm sorry, I'm just reading this for the first time, and I can't help my laughter. A worrying development for U.S. officials who have been grappling with the threat of domestic violent extremists. So now, here you go. So somehow CNN and the media is now looking at this and saying, okay, now we're going to attach the Taliban to white supremacists and white supremacists to conservatives and Trump supporters, and you see how that works? Do you see? Now, some might say that's evil. Some might say that's twisted, and every one of you would be right, which is really funny, and it's actually not. It's very concerning. So we have people now that have decided to flip this and say that there are people that are praising the Taliban, and this now is something that it's far-right groups, and it is the white supremacists that are bringing all of this up and to our attention, which we say is a joke. But that's what's going to happen. That is ultimately what we're looking at. And, it was Matt Taibbi who has a great web presence on Substack. And if you haven't been to Substack, it's someplace you should go. Certainly a place where you can get journalism and real information. And, he was even talking about this yesterday. And this entire CNN story about alleged white supremacist praise of the Taliban worrying officials. This cites exactly one anonymous online quote on Instagram, because that's how it works. It's the it's the REO Speedwagon Democrats. This is what they do. You heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend. You've been messing around. So that's what it is. It is anonymously one person who's on Instagram, who probably was on Instagram because they lost their password on Facebook and is wondering if OnlyFans isn't going to allow for pornography to be there anymore. Then is there any place that I could see hot chicks? Any place? Really, that's what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with an anonymous person that nobody can ask any questions about, but that's where we're going with it. And even Matt Taibbi was talking about this in an article that he had in Substack, and I want you to listen to a little bit of this, because this is something that ultimately is what we all have to be watching out for. Because as much as we can joke about, and as much as we can see this happening, and as much as we want to believe that there are better people that are out there that look at all of these stories and hear this from CNN and MSNBC and all of them and say to themselves, this is ridiculous, right? This is a joke. You have anonymous sources that you're constantly bringing up. We're supposed to trust you, yet you've never given us a reason to trust you. So when you say things about the vid or masking or immigration or what's going on in Afghanistan or what could or couldn't have been when we pulled out of Afghanistan, we're supposed to trust you, but yet you've never given us the opportunity to trust you because you lie to us all the time, just like this administration. But ultimately, the cooler heads you would believe prevail. But the problem is how blatant this attack on you and free speech is. And he was bringing this up in an article, Matt Taibbi, where he talked about how now NPR, your tax dollars hard at work. NPR, everybody loves the fact that we're paying somebody to say things that are flat out lies and in some places an infringement on our free speech, and laugh and joke and feel like this is a good thing, and we just keep giving the money. Now, if you had the choice, you wouldn't do that, but here's the thing, you don't have a choice. And you don't also have a choice in saying whether or not you're okay with that. So NPR trashes free speech. If in an irony only public radio could miss on the media, this program that they have hosts an hour on the perils of free speech absolutism without interviewing one single defender of free speech. Follow this, everybody. I mean, that's the headline. You probably don't even need to hear anything more out of the article. This is what it's about. It's about when people like NPR, people that are getting tax dollars, are being able to present a case like nothing else could have happened in Afghanistan. The white supremacist Trump-supporting people that are out there, the far right-wing crazies, the ones that are shamans, that are QAnon, that all run into insurrections anywhere it's found because the president says to do it, which is all a lie. They run with this, but they never present the other side. They continue to do this. Sooner or later, either this has to catch up or we have to have a little bit more pushback and some people with spines that are not going to be afraid to talk about NPR and maybe pulling some tax dollars from them. But the idea that this is happening is bizarre and dangerous. And he was going through this article, and I would encourage you, if you get an opportunity, to go to Matt Taibbi's Substack and read this. And the idea is pretty crazy, that you would have people that would come on and say, listen, we have to get rid of free speech. It's no good. You can't do this. One individual saying that speech absolutists, which you are, you're a free speech absolutist. You believe in free speech. You can say whatever you want as long as you're not throwing fisticuffs here. Your speech and whatever you say, however you say it, listen, that's what it's all about, and we can agree to disagree. So they're saying you can't regulate speech. Why? Well, because it would harm the speaker. It would somehow truncate their expression and their self-determination. And you say, okay, what's the harm? Well, the harm is a psychological harm. Wait a minute, I thought you said psychological harms didn't count. So now they're trying to spin everything around like you're saying that I don't want you to harm me, but wait a minute, now you're saying that there is harm if I say something. No, I'm not saying that. And they're trying to twist around the words to say this, and it's very simple. That sooner or later, there are going to be individuals that are going to tell you in a very strong way that the things that you see are not what you see, the things that you believe you shouldn't be believing, and ultimately, if we believe that your speech, your expression is something that we deem to be dangerous, then we will deem it dangerous and you won't be allowed to do it. And again, the question becomes, who's the arbiter of all things good and true? Isn't there a danger there? Wouldn't you be worried if the Trump-supporting white supremacist, far right-wing, shamalama ding-dong things on their head, Viking guys going into, if they were the ones that were in charge and saying, hey, you know what? We would like to stifle left-leaning speech. How do you think the left would be? They would be beside themselves, but we wouldn't do that. They will. And so the thing to keep an eye on in this, and let's take a break, Jake. We'll get ready to go right now, is very simple. You have the media right now who is getting ready to spin out of Afghanistan into something that is ridiculous, and just to be on the lookout for it, and I know you already are. And then ultimately, we're going to have politicians, people that will step up and fill the gap where we need them to fill in, to say, enough is enough. We're not doing this. And by the way, 2022 is just around the corner. And when we do, notice I didn't say if we do, I said when we do come back and we take over the House and the Senate, when we are in control of Congress, things are going to be different. Now, that's a good talking point, but you got to have action behind it. And so hopefully we will. And speaking of action behind it, let's do this. Let's take a break. And when we come back, some people were asking me about the interview yesterday that I had with Congressman Byron Donalds. He was on with us, and he had a lot to say about the Biden administration, Afghanistan, and I want to replay that interview because a lot of people asked me about that. So when we come back, we'll be talking and playing that audio back once again if you missed it. Live from Oaks Farm, Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road here in Naples. We'll be here till 9 a.m. live. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Island Air. High-quality AC repair and installation. Online at islandairfl.com. Online at islandairefl.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report. The global shortage for computer chips is getting worse, forcing General Motors and Ford to put the brakes on production at some of its factories for a couple of weeks. The nationwide labor shortage is reportedly prompting Amazon to tell companies that operate its delivery vans to advertise in job postings that they don't screen for marijuana use. Bloomberg reports that Amazon told companies such a policy can boost the number of job applicants by as much as 400%. Walmart says it's fighting the labor shortage by boosting its minimum wage to $12 an hour and giving hundreds of thousands of store workers a $1 an hour raise. And positive economic reports helped the S&P 500 and NASDAQ close at record highs yesterday. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing and Gutters. Get your mind out of the gutters. We are proud to announce the addition of our seamless aluminum gutter division. Contact our team for your free quote. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
According to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Matt and Justin here with Island Air with some great news for all of Southwest Florida. When the time comes to replace your old, outdated air conditioning system, you don't have to pull from any of your fund money to do so.
Over the past year and a half, we know that many people have sacrificed their vacations.
Now, for a limited time, we are including a vacation voucher with the purchase of your new home air conditioning system, redeemable for cruises and luxury condos in many countries around the world.
It's your choice with a qualified purchase of a cruise or condo resort voucher. You can choose 4,500 different resort options, 106 countries around the world.
Please take the opportunity to let Island Air take you to the islands or many other places around the world.
A vacation can be yours with the purchase of a new air conditioning system. Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher. Just give us a call, 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
Nobody wants a middleman coming between you and what is important to your family, like your home's water. And that's why I love Pentair Water Solutions, the pros. You know my buddy Max, and you should call him now and get your free digital Pentair water diagnosis. So you live in Southwest Florida, but you can smell the water coming out of the faucet. It's awful, that chlorine smell, the skin in your hair drying out. It's a mess, and your hard water staining your faucets or shower glass. We've all experienced it here in Southwest Florida. The toughest city or well water issues, don't worry about it. And the middleman issue. Listen, with Pentair, there are no middlemen, no dealers, no distributors. They make the system so you have a Pentair water expert in your home, and you can be assured of the right solution for your water at a true Pentair factory direct price. It's a big difference that you will see for yourself. 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799. And this month, you can save up to $600 on softeners and salt-free alternatives. Give them a call today or book online at pentair.com/FortM.
Homeowners, you hear the news every day. Rates go up and rates go down. While the economy struggles to recover, rising inflation rears its ugly head. Stop banging your head against a wall. Mortgage rates are again at all-time lows. That's right. Rates are at all-time lows. Put a bit of cash back in your pocket with a refi from True Mortgage. Get a 15-year fixed at just 1.75%, 2.140% APR. Even better, True Mortgage will cover your title, escrow, and appraisal fees. Qualification is fast and simple. Keep more of your hard-earned money and boost your savings. Lock in a lifetime of true value today with the lowest rates ever offered at 800-430-3334. That's 800-430-3334. 800-430-3334. Or visit TrueNow.com. Sign on the line. Inc. DBA True Mortgage is located at 100 Spectrum Center Drive, Suite 520, Irvine, California 92618. Equalizing lender. Terms and conditions apply. Based on a loan amount of $400,000. Monthly principal and interest payments. Primary residence only with a 50% loan to value. Not all applicants will qualify. NMLS number MLD 1713.
Wink News traffic.
Good morning. Watching major backups along I-75 southbound because of a crash right now around the Colonial Boulevard exit, blocking the left-hand lane. Coming down from State Road 82 MLK, even as far north as about Palm Beach Boulevard, you'll start to see traffic slowing down southbound there. So if you can take Ortiz Avenue, that's a good alternate route instead of 75. You could also take 41 if you're farther to the west in Fort Myers. We also have other crashes on 75 southbound, one at mile marker 130 and another at mile marker 110 down in Collier County, closer to the Immokalee Road exit in the Vanderbilt Beach Road overpass, but that does not appear to be blocking anything. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Friday, Southwest Florida. We are heading into the upcoming holiday weekend, and today, kind of a wet way to end out the work week. Look for additional showers as we head throughout this morning with a cloudier sky. Scattered thunderstorms developing throughout the afternoon, with a few persisting on into this evening, with temperatures only set to top off in the upper 80s for most. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for your Labor Day weekend. All days featuring scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures should be a little bit warmer with a little bit more sunshine in the mix, with highs in the lower 90s and added humidity feeling like the upper 90s to lower 100s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
The news you need, the host you trust, getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers. This is Trey Radel from 92.5 Fox News. 20 years ago, on 9/11, 2,977 perished. In their honor, in their memory, 92.5 Fox News will place one flag for each of their souls to create a field of flags in downtown Naples, starting next week on 92.5 Fox News.
It's Kaylee Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. I hear commercials that offer no-interest loans and giant rebates for air conditioners all the time. Now, I'm still a kid, but even I know banks don't lend money for free. Even I know that big cash rebates just aren't real. Just like the Tooth Fairy, they are simply missed to make you feel happy inside. When it's time to invest in a new system, but the right system for the right reasons, not the one on sale with fake offers. Call Kobe Cooling at 239-482-1542. Again, at 239-482-1542. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense, no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
Did you know people drive from all over Florida to save money on diamonds?
Hi, I'm Stuart Duncan from Duncan's Diamonds, and we have thousands of diamonds, all shapes, all sizes, half carat to 10 carats. Because we are direct diamond importers, we own one of the largest selections of amazing diamonds here in the United States.
And offer prices 30 to 50% lower than other jewelers, where overhead cost is very high. Duncan's Diamonds handpicks diamonds from diamond cutters all over the world to ensure you get the best.
We want you to find that diamond that you really love today and save.
And at Duncan's Diamonds, we have spectacular financing and layaway plans, including no or low interest.
A $2,000 engagement ring is only $66 a month. A $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $84 a month. Best prices guaranteed, low monthly payments, a spectacular gift from Duncan's Diamonds. We want you to find the diamond you love today and save.
Naples at Mercado, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Fort Myers on US 41.
Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, THRIVE, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
Have you heard them yet? Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, today at noon, right after Glenn Beck, 92.5 Fox News. Right.
All right, we are back. We are back live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road here in Naples. We are so glad that you are stopping by. So many people getting up early, grab some coffee, grab some breakfast, as we are here every first Friday, and we are super excited about that. If you don't know about locally owned Alfie Oaks and Oaks Farm Seed to Table, it has it all. If you haven't discovered the 9 different spots throughout the store, you can order hot food. You can eat it here, take it home for later, made fresh at Seed to Table, organic foods. Enjoy the freshest juice, smoothies at the juice bar. You can come in for the show this morning and you maybe just want to grab a cup of coffee or a latte from the coffee bar and a delicious hot breakfast, including my favorites like eggs or even the breakfast burritos. One of a kind. It's the place to be. Oaks Farm, Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road here in Naples. And we do appreciate, yes. And it's one of these places where I try to explain to people up north, and when I try to explain to my mom what it's like, she's like, "It's a grocery store with a bar? I don't understand. What is it?" And I say, "Well, you'll see once you come here. It's you'll see." I know my mom, and she's listening right now. She hates when I do that. She hates when I imitate her like that because she says, "You know, my voice doesn't sound like this." It's like, yeah, no, it really does. It really does sound like that. I hate to. Anyway, no, that's not nice. All right, so we've got a lot going on here. Coming up this morning, much to discuss, as you can imagine. Joe Biden going after the Supreme Court for what is something that ultimately is going to be decided at the Supreme Court, whether people like it or not. It's going to be their Roe v. Wade. It was not decided yesterday. All the hyperbolic statements from the media on what happened with this Texas protection of life law. I don't like calling it this anti-abortion law. I like calling it the protection of life law. I mean, forgive me. That's just me personally. How you feel about it is you. But, for me, I like a protection of life law. That seems like it's pretty good. So you may get a little discussion this morning on that topic. I hope you don't mind that we might go there. I might wait until after everybody has breakfast, because sometimes people don't like to talk about that kind of thing during a dinner or fruit or breakfast time. But we'll get to that coming up. Also, obviously, how the media is starting to spin everything out in Afghanistan. And there's an update of an update of an update on what we're told is not happening around the country. I know when people say critical race theory and school districts and there's an Antifa teacher that's in California, an Antifa member who is also a teacher who is giving the students extra credit for showing up at different places and organizing and causing trouble at school boards and colleges and everything else, and giving extra credit for that because he wants to create little radicals in school. And then you come to find out that he's all upset because he might lose his job because he's been called out and somehow he's the victim, which is ridiculous. But CRT isn't happening in our schools. Nothing like that's going on. There's another story to the story because there were people at the school board yesterday who had a couple of things to say about this individual, and it's very telling, and I want you to hear some of the audio coming up this morning. It's really important. But before we get to that, a lot of people were asking me about my interview yesterday with Congressman Byron Donalds, talking specifically, yes. And he was on with us yesterday morning as we were talking about Joe Biden and the Biden administration. House Republicans right now are demanding a full transcript of the Biden-Ghani phone call. Will they get it? We will see. It's interesting that Joe Biden's gone on vacation once again and letting everybody try to spin out of what's happened in Afghanistan. We have the announcement from the Taliban that China is going to be now the main partner there in Afghanistan with the Taliban. China and the Taliban. Nothing could possibly go wrong, everybody. Everything is perfectly fine. Nothing to see here. Enjoy your life. life, enjoy everything that's going on here in this great country, because it's never going to be an issue for us here if they're way over there. I think we've said that in the past, and we don't want to revisit, but I digress. So we talked about that yesterday, and I asked the congressman, listen, with all this talk about falling poll numbers and the concerns of Afghanistan and the things that have transpired within the past week and this past month, to get his thoughts.
Well, I mean, look, first, you're right about the pivot. I mean, MSNBC and CNN already, they're on to flooding in New York City and the Supreme Court ruling on the Texas abortion law. Yeah. I mean, it's not even a pivot. They've decided to jump into a completely different arena and just ignore what's going on still on the ground in Afghanistan. I mean, look, it's already the leaks are coming out. The president obviously knew, because the president of Afghanistan told him that they were facing a full-on invasion from the Taliban. So his first line of talking about is nobody could have predicted is a flat-out lie. He knew because the President Ghani of Afghanistan told him that the Taliban was moving quickly through the country. They were facing a full-scale invasion. I was involved in a closed briefing, not classified. It was a closed briefing 2 days ago. The Inspector General for Afghanistan told us in a closed briefing that they had sent a red letter report to the White House, to the Department of Defense, to the Secretary of State, sent to the State Department, saying that if you pulled our military contractors out, that the Afghanistan Air Force would crumble in 3 weeks. This was sent to all the decision makers at the White House, frankly, months before this whole thing fell apart. You have the situation where the intelligence community, that's the cute way we refer to the CIA now. We don't really call them the CIA. We call them the intelligence community. Yeah. Sounds so much better, so much more PC. Yeah. They've been warning for months that if you pull our forces, this place would collapse immediately. Joe Biden knew exactly what was going on this entire time. He did it anyway because he is reckless, he is moronic, he is incompetent, and he does not deserve to be commander-in-chief. And then to be at Dover Air Force Base and to just have the unmitigated gall to check your watch, and then the unmitigated gall to talk about your son, Beau Biden. Let me back up for a moment.
Yeah.
What happened nobody wants to lose a child. I got 3 sons. I don't want to lose my children. But Joe Biden constantly throws Beau Biden out there when he's caught in a hard place and has no area he has nowhere else to go. He throws Beau Biden out there. He throws Beau Biden out there in the face of people who just lost their son or daughter based on a decision that Joe Biden made. And so he wants to try to draw sympathy by bringing up Beau Biden. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
The president does not deserve to be commander-in-chief, period.
Yeah, besides the fact that I think even some of the family members mentioned when he does that, it's not about you. It's about us. It's about this moment. He tries to bring himself into it. And there was, comments about rolling eyes and some other things that family members said, you would never, and I'll say it, a President Trump would never do some of the things. Well, we would never be in this situation to begin with. We had Congressman Mark Meadows on yesterday who talked about specifically, and I know you've had conversations because he mentioned that you both have had conversations about what they were planning to do to begin with, what the former administration had planned, and it was nothing like this. It would never have been like this. You've had those conversations.
Mark Meadows and I have talked about this. I've been in briefings with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. We've talked about this. Look, the reality is that the Afghanistan Taliban agreement was an agreement of a peace agreement between the Taliban and the Afghani government. Not the way the press likes to talk about it, about a deal with the Taliban. That was not the deal. Number two, there were conditions in the deal. They never met the conditions. So Donald Trump never moved on the conditions of moving out more troops. If they had complied with the conditions in the deal, we probably would have been out last year. But that never happened. Joe Biden knew this. Joe Biden knew what was in that deal. He used the deal as an excuse to do what he's been wanting to do, frankly, for 15 years. People forget that when he was vice president, they had to kick him out of the briefings on Afghanistan because he was advocating for full withdrawal when that was not the conditions on the ground. So when I tell people, like, look, this is different. This is not politics. This is not because Joe Biden is a Democrat and I'm a Republican. This is because Joe Biden has literally lost the respect around the world for our allies. He has lost whatever semblance of respect our enemies had for the presidency of the United States. He's lost that. And you cannot have a commander in chief on the world stage that is this weak and is this incompetent. This is not politics. This is reality.
Yeah.
And the reality is that what his decisions and his incompetence overall, and frankly, the inability to actually accept responsibility, even though he throws out the words he is accepting responsibility, damages America on the world stage and on foreign policy conflicts, not only during the remainder of his term, but in years to come.
You know, I wonder if you want to comment on this because America First Legal Stephen Miller was on last night with Tucker Carlson as they were discussing the Afghan refugee situation. And again, let me preface this by saying, if you certainly, it doesn't make a difference what side of the aisle you're on. The compassion of the American people is clear when it comes to refugees, people who are trying to escape persecution and some of the things that they know are going to take place in Afghanistan. That is not the issue when it comes to refugees as to whether or not we have a heart to take people in. Of course we do. The issue becomes whether or not you're able to vet people, vet individuals. Stephen Miller, who was talking about the Afghan refugee situation and how it come to his attention through some people and sources, this discussion about the possibility and looking at the select few that were brought over and how basically they're ghosts. Like they are not on, when it comes to the American government, they don't know who they are. They're not on the rolls. There's nothing that they can see and pinpoint specifically even who they are. They're like ghosts. What are your concerns about that situation specifically, and that talk about our safety and security here in the country?
If we're processing people coming out of that area of the world the way we're processing people coming across the southern border, I'm very, very concerned, extremely concerned. This State Department is a joke. I mean, let's be blunt here for a moment. This State Department is run by a bunch of Ivy League academics who do all this stuff looks good in a dissertation, but in the real world just simply does not work. And so the real issue we have here, Drew, is that people who served with our members of the armed forces over in Afghanistan, we actually have their biometric data. So the first line of vetting is actually not that difficult. It's actually quite simple. Yeah. Also considering that we left behind the computer equipment, so the Taliban can actually check this stuff too with the people we left behind in Afghanistan. So what they should be doing is holding people outside the country, not bringing them to the United States so quickly. The reason why they're having to do this is because the agreements, to my understanding, that State Department set up with Qatar and other places is only to hold people for like 24, 36 hours and then to bring them directly to the United States. It's not a deep vetting that needs to be happening. We need to do that not only to secure those families, but to secure Americans as well. We need to be doing that. I don't think any of that is happening. But here's the problem, Drew. Nancy Pelosi still has us on recess. We're not holding hearings on any of this stuff. Oversight, we just did a blind briefing on it just because members are like, hey, we got to get some information. We got to tell our constituents something, but they're not doing any real hearings or investigations on this at all. There was a bipartisan briefing yesterday, which was basically a dog and pony show where Millie, Blinken, and Austin just, gave long speeches. There were 4 questions asked and the call was done. Like, there's nothing in depth happening right now. It is all for show. It is all to check boxes. It is all for smoke and mirrors. But what do you expect from, frankly, the least? I used to think the Obama administration was the least transparent administration. No. This is the least transparent administration I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You get no information out of this White House. You get no information out of state. You get no information out of HHS or out of Homeland. You basically are finding out stuff from the press, and then you're having to go back and ask questions. And Nancy Pelosi, unfortunately, who still runs the House, is not holding investigations. She's not getting to the bottom of this. She's covering and protecting for this president. And especially with this transcript, this phone call that came out between Biden and Ghani. Do you really think if this is a conversation between Ghani and Trump, she wouldn't have hauled I was about to say ass. Why should I say that? She would have hauled us back to D.C. immediately to hold hearings in person with the cameras for all to see so she could break down Donald Trump. She's covering and protecting this man. And it's disgusting.
Yeah. Before we go, I have to ask this question because I know you have no problem taking on the tough questions. And I think this is a tough question. And it goes back to something I said before and people texting me and asking me to ask you, and they're frustrated. There's a poll out there, and the American people see this. There's the numbers that we all see about this president and the fact that people want him to resign or impeachment. The numbers are there to say and confirm all of this. But at the same time, you also have the concern of leadership. People have asked me, they're concerned about House leadership. They're worried about Mitch McConnell, who was saying, no, we're not even going to be talking about impeachment or anything like that. When you know full well that if any of this would be coming up and the hoaxes that were perpetrated against Donald Trump, that we would be talking about this. And we were talking about it. But now we have actual situations where we do need to have this conversation. So I'm asking you, are you concerned about leadership on the Republican side who may want to play out this clock, if it appears, and not talk about this and take a role in pushing this because, they think, I don't know, is it because you want to tuck this away for 2022 to not get rid of this president now or make a big stink about it now because you want to wait until, I don't understand what the political process would be, but I know you can speak to this and what your thoughts are on.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Republican leadership on this. I'll admit I am concerned about that because, obviously we're trying to take back the House and take back the Senate in 2022. But a lot of times Republican leadership, in my view, gets caught up in this whole thing of we got to save it for the midterms. But the reality is that if you don't expose these issues as they come, there's not going to be something for the midterms because big media is not covering it, Drew. They've already pivoted. Right. They're already on to the next thing. There's nothing to see here. Joe Biden ended the war, and they've moved on. So I think that we do have to sit down and really dig into this. Now, let me say this. When it comes to asking him to resign, I've done that. Actually, I was one of the earlier members to do that. A lot of members are now calling for his resignation. He's not resigning, but we have to make that point. There are members who are calling for the 25th Amendment. I know Senator Scott's doing that. I know Madison Cawthorn is doing that. They're calling for the 25th Amendment. I doubt this cabinet is going to roll on Joe Biden, even though they probably should. Or frankly, even though they should. Now, to impeachment. To impeachment. What I think is this. We have to make sure we have a real legal argument for impeachment. Now, I know there are people who are going to say, but look what they did to Donald Trump. There was no legal argument. And I agree, there was no legal argument. But I'm also a constitutionalist. And the institution or the protocol of impeachment has to be sound. I'm not into this whole, well, they did it, so now we're going to do it too. That's my stance. We need to explore the legal options for impeachment. We need to explore all this stuff and really come up with a legal case for impeaching Joe Biden. I think if you dig deep enough, there is one. My office, we're already starting to dig into some of this stuff. That's why we've been mostly quiet on impeachment, because we're digging in and trying to get credible stuff about what are the grounds for it, not just saying he's a disaster, he's got to go, let's file the papers. I know there are members who are doing that and signing on to that. I've not signed on to that yet. But my concern is that Republican leadership, this needs to really come from them. This is something that we are pushing on, asking them to make a strong stance with respect to how to deal with Joe Biden. The primary stance has been to this point, let's get Americans out. Okay, well, let's get Americans out, and then after we withdraw, then let's dig in. Well, now we've withdrawn. The time is to really dig in, do the hard work, do the real investigations. My last point on this is that even though the Democrats completely cheapened the impeachment process, especially the second one, that was a complete and flat out joke. It was purely reactionary. Two things need to be understood. Number one, they have the votes in the House. So we can bring articles. Nancy Pelosi will never hear it. There'll never be a vote. So we'll throw it out there. It'll be a talking point. It'll never get the light of day if you just throw them out there. But number two, with the first impeachment, they actually did go through the process of trying to build a case. As a matter of fact, they spent 3 years trying to build a case and then finally got this phone call. And through all the other investigations, what they did is they dropped all that other stuff into the phone call impeachment article, and that's what they ran with. We don't have any basis of information yet to even begin that process. I think that you got to really dig in, do deep investigations, get key reports, create timelines, build an actual case, and then you file those articles. But I think people need to understand, even if we file them, and they've already been filed, I know Marjorie Taylor Greene's filed them, they're not going to get heard. Nancy Pelosi will not hear them.
Yeah.
I think you got to make a case for it 100%, but there's got to be a credible case for it. It can't just be in reaction to the complete incompetence and atrocity we've seen from Joe Biden. He's the commander in chief. Unfortunately, his decisions are the ones that get carried out, unfortunately. But the commander in chief making a completely disastrous decision unless there's something else in there that we don't know yet. And this phone call between him and Ghani, in my view, is the beginning of that. That's how you build an argument. If just responding to what he's done as a disaster is not enough with respect to impeachment, in my view.
Yeah.
That's my view.
Yeah. All right, Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I appreciate you, sir. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right. See you, Drew.
239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website if you'd like to watch. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Constant repairs, higher energy bills, and lower air quality can all result from an HVAC system needing an upgrade. At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, we have several options to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit onehourairnaples.com or call 855-1-HOUR to schedule your AC consultation.
Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Yeah.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
92.5 Fox News.
The economy's up, unemployment is down, and home sales are on the rise again.
Hey, I'm Tom.
I'm Dick. And I'm Harry. And we're real estate agents.
Well, it looks like it's that time of year again, where every Tom, Dick, and Harry thinks they can sell real estate.
If you want a qualified and experienced team to sell your home, call the Morrison Renault team with United Real Estate Infinity. Call 239-246-7859. That's 239-246-7859.
Hello, I'm Dave Harmer, owner of First Class Air Conditioning. Since 1977, we've been pretty selective when it comes to hiring new people. We take special pride in the craftsmen we train and employ. If you're an experienced HVAC professional, consider joining us. With a 40-year track record, we're here for the long haul. Call today, 574-2500, and ask for Mr. Harmer. That's 574-2500.
First Class Air Conditioning. Our name says it all.
Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital. And we're super excited to be growing roots right here in Southwest Florida and are looking forward to being a part of this community for years to come. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all our clients and partners through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $70 off any electrical repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
He took part in the ISIS beheadings of Americans. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Known as one of the Beatles for their British accents in the videos, a terrorist has admitted he did it in a U.S. courtroom last night. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, an ISIS terrorist involved in the brutal killings of 4 Americans in Syria, will spend the rest of his life in prison. U.S. Attorney Raj Parekh announced the guilty plea on Thursday evening.
Alexander Kote, an avowed member of ISIS, pleaded guilty today to all charges that were brought against him.
The deal sets a mandatory minimum sentence of life without parole. After 15 years, Cote would be eligible to be transferred to the United Kingdom to face any possible charges there. Dave?
Rachel, a terror attack in New Zealand. An Islamic extremist picks up a knife in a supermarket, starts stabbing people.
The individual was under constant monitoring.
And Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says within a minute, police who were following the man shot and killed him after he'd wounded 6 shoppers. There's a lot of storm damage in the Northeast. After Hurricane Ida's remnants rained down, there were tornadoes and flash floods, killing at least 46 people in many states. Some died in the basements of their homes. About half the victims in New Jersey. Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer.
Ida's intense flooding is making these neighborhoods in the northern part of the state unrecognizable. Meanwhile, many people in Pennsylvania thought Ida's leftovers would just bring some rain. Well, instead, residents in and around Philadelphia experienced severe flooding and at least one tornado.
I have no idea what's going on, and I know I got a lot in front of me, though.
President Biden will go to Louisiana today, where Ida hit first, and there is still flooding, and there are widespread power outages and no running water in many homes, and we're learning about 3 more deaths in nursing homes there. 13 people killed in Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama in that storm. America's listening to Fox News.
Grandpa Joe doesn't want voter ID, but Uncle Sam says we have to do a station ID. 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right, all along.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. A very messy commute on I-75 heading south through Fort Myers right now. Coming down from about Palm Beach Boulevard through Luckett Road, we're really seeing the backup start to build. And heading farther south to Colonial because of a crash at mile marker 137 right before you hit that Colonial Boulevard exit, a left-hand lane is blocked. So avoid that area. Ortiz Avenue is going to be your best alternate route to get around the 75 backups. We also have a crash at Alico Road and I-75 right off the interstate, causing some slight delays east and westbound. And farther south on 75 in Collier County, mile marker 110, southbound seeing a lot of delays building from Immokalee Road down through the Vanderbilt Beach Road overpass out there. A wet start to the morning drive all across Southwest Florida, so take it slow and easy. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. We are heading into the upcoming holiday weekend, and today, kind of a wet way to end out the work week. Look for additional showers as we head throughout this morning with a cloudier sky. Scattered thunderstorms developing throughout the afternoon with a few persisting on into this evening, with temperatures only set to top off in the upper 80s for most. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for your Labor Day weekend. All days featuring scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures should be a little bit warmer with a little bit more sunshine in the mix, with highs in the lower 90s and added humidity feeling like the upper 90s to lower 100s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Got friends and family living far away? Tell them to stream the best station yet at rightallalong.net, the online home of 92.5 Fox News.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Rock Solid wants you to be our customer at Rock Solid Countertops and More. $9.99 gets it done. Through Labor Day, get a full set of kitchen countertops from $9.99 installed. Rock Solid guarantees to beat any competitor's prices, including installation. So come see Hugo and his team at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples, or visit rocksolidnaples.com. Rock Solid, where $9.99 gets it done.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpet starting at, wait a minute, let me just get this right, at just $1.99 a square foot?
Yes, installed carpet pad and labor, $1.99.
And there's the phones ringing already. Look at that. They're getting excited.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, tell me more about what we've got here.
So we've got a big selection, and this is quite a carpet.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching and subscribing to the podcast. Hopefully you've done that already. We are live at Oaks Farm, Seed to Table, at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road here in Naples. And you can imagine there's always a lot going on. And you're getting ready for the holiday weekend. Listen, I'm telling you, there is no better place to be than Oaks Farm Seed to Table getting ready. They've got you covered. You can check out everything that's here. And you know how it's not really fair to talk about any other place and compare it to Seed to Table, because every other place is not like Oaks Farm Seed to Table. And you've got truly one-stop shopping, farm fresh produce. It doesn't get any fresher. Pick up everything you need right here for the holiday weekend at Seed to Table. Only the finest, freshest greens and vegetables, perfect for salads, fruit, bakings, or smoothies. You can enjoy everything here with your family. In-store bakery at Seed to Table, one-of-a-kind bakery treats. Not only delicious, but also beautiful, may I say. And, of course, the fresh-baked breads, cookies, pies, and cakes. Visit the wine department. They got an incredible selection of fine wines and unique beer. And start the holiday weekend off right here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. And get here right now, because this morning there's a lot going on. Later on, I believe, we're going to have a phone call with Roger Stone. There's a big event going on over the weekend that you might want to be a part of. He will be at here in Southwest Florida, so we'll get to that. And also, we're going to talk about a great new song that was written by Ben Allen, along with my friend Alan James, also here from Naples. And many of you know Ben Allen, probably from seeing him on The Voice, a finalist on The Voice last year. Well, this song, We Are Americans, is really a cool song. And so I asked, would you guys mind coming here and performing the song live this morning? And so they said, yeah. So they will be here later on this morning, Ben Allen, to perform We Are Americans, his new song out. It's a great new patriotic song. You are going to love it. So that's going to be happening later on this morning. Yeah, you can applaud for that. That's okay. I heard a couple of people, yeah. Now, just to remind everybody, those that don't have an opportunity or may not yet, because they're on their way down here to Oaks Farm Seed to Table, the crowd is not shy. They're not a shy crowd. They talk, they applaud, they yell, they scream, they cheer, they stand, they do all this. So expect that and be ready for that. It's a good thing. It is a good thing. All right, let's see. What else do we got going on this morning? A couple of things that we are watching. Now, you knew that once you started to hear about weather issues, even some of the weather issues we're having here. Did you know that what's going on right now, the rain that is falling right here on the top of Seed to Table here at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee, did you know this is man-made climate change? You all, every single one of you should be ashamed of yourself, because the driving you did today, the carbon that you emitted, caused exactly what's going on above us. Can you believe? No, nobody believes that, and I almost feel bad. You're all looking at me like we didn't do this. That's what it always. Yeah, exactly. But you never let a crisis go to waste, as somebody named, I think, was it Hillary Clinton that always says you never, I don't know, it wasn't Hillary Clinton that said it, but I always blame Hillary Clinton for just about every ill that the country has been a part of. So you never let crisis go to waste. And of course, when you have the issue of a hurricane that makes its way through Louisiana, Mississippi, and makes its way to the Northeast, and the damage and destruction and the death that it has caused, because that's what weather does. It's unpredictable. It's dangerous. It's always been dangerous. I'm sure back probably hundreds of thousands of years ago, they would walk outside and go, this weather's pretty dangerous. I'm just saying that I'm not really sure that the thing that we've built here is going to hold this. There it goes. There goes the house. See? All right, yeah. There's probably been but of course, hundreds and thousands of years ago, it certainly was because of man, because there was a lot. Anyway, all right, I'm getting carried away. The point is this. It's shameful sometimes how the left in this country will take a crisis, something that we should take 2 seconds and take a breath and focus on, which would be the lives and the destruction and what we need to do to clean up, before we start talking about climate change. But no, they don't do that. It didn't take very long for people like the governor of the state of New Jersey, Patrick Murphy, to come out with his Marxist, social Democrat ways and start to talk about how awful this is, and oh boy, we got to get resilient. Anytime you hear the word resiliency, everybody, that's code for we need to pass $1 trillion infrastructure bill, a $3.5 trillion. If we can get $5 trillion to do this, we can stop all of this. It's one of those things that he's trying to bring out and bring up, and it becomes frustrating. It's one of those things that just becomes really frustrating. Let me see if I can get this audio pulled up here in just a second. Again, if you want to watch what is going on here live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, you can go to drewsteele.com, and we are broadcasting live as we do each and every first Friday. All right, let's see if I can find this audio. Here it is. Let's see if we've got this. Is this Patrick Murphy here talking? Is this, let's see. Is this it? Let's see. Oh, goodness. All right, so we've got technical issues now. Is that what we've got? Is that what you're doing to me today, technical issues? Can you? No, you can't hear that. I don't know what's going on here. All right, well, anyway, you've got the governor of the state of New Jersey who is telling everybody that we've got to be resilient. There needs to be resiliency. That's the issue right now with regard to the climate change, and that's how we're going to get things better if we just if we become more resilient. Yeah, I can't get this thing working. I don't know why. All right, we'll figure it out in just a bit on the break. So he's out there talking about this. You have others that are talking about it as well, and some people individual. Oh man, I wish I had this audio. I can't believe I don't have this audio up. Just to let you know, there's a political pundit and climatologist, not really, Matthew Dowd, who was on with MSNBC, that wanted to let everybody know that we're about to have more deaths in a year in the globe because of climate change than all of the world wars in the last 100 years combined. Oh, and by the way, we only have 12 to 24 months left, everybody. That's it. You got 12 to 24 months to figure out what in the world we are going to do. So if you've got plans for 24, like if there's an election that we're going to be talking about, you might want to put the election and everything on hold because nobody's going to be around to vote, apparently, because that's how bad things are. Oh, here you go. We got the audio. Oh, thank you. Okay. Let's start with Patrick Murphy. Here you go with the resilience here. Listen to this. Oh, no, that's not it. All right. I wonder what's going on with that. All right, but here we have Matthew Dowd. Here you go. All right.
Choice in the matter because the globe is at stake, and it's the planet by which we draw sustenance and live on, and our children live on. So we have no choice in this. To me, this is a fundamental thing, and you're exactly right. There's not equal blame, and there's not both sides on anything close to this issue, which actually both sides stuff has hurt us in getting anything done. There's one side that has listened to science and one side that hasn't.
Okay, now one side that's listened to science, everybody, on climate change, and one hasn't. Does anybody want to guess which is the side that doesn't listen to science? Okay, you're not supposed to scream and cheer about you not being all about science. No, that's what they're saying. They're saying you're the ones that aren't about science.
This issue of climate change, which in my view is the greatest global threat, and we're about to have more deaths in a year in the globe because of climate change than all of the world wars in the last 100 years combined.
Yeah, he said that. That's right. We're about to have climate change. So what they're going to do is now he can make that claim that it's all about climate change. We're going to have more deaths due to climate change than all the world wars in the last 100 years combined. And, you know, if it's not enough, they'll just add some. You know, this is kind of like climate change. I mean, there was somebody that unfortunately got into a car accident because they were rushing to work and it was raining. It's a climate change. That's why it happened. It's because of the climate, that, you know, the rain that's falling down, and unfortunately that poor person lost their life. We're not going to be concerned about that. It's climate change. That's what it is.
We're about to face a time when we have more deaths because of climate change. But fundamentally, the problem is Republicans don't believe in the common good.
No. Republicans, did you know that Republicans don't believe in the common good? I don't know if you're a Republican, but you are some kind of evil fool. Can I just say that out loud? You are just evil. You don't care about the common good. You could care less about it. As a matter of fact, you're probably one of those people, you probably kick puppies. How many of you kick puppies? You're not raising your hand, but I know each one of you kicks puppies. Every one of you, you're just really bad.
That's affected their COVID response, that affects their response to the guns, that affects their response to everything.
Yeah, everything. You're just evil Republicans, every single one of you. It's your response to everything, COVID and, you know, all of that. And
they don't believe in the common good, and they discount science. And when you don't believe in the common good and you discount science, we end up here doing nothing about climate change in our time. We are fast approaching unless we fundamentally do something.
Okay, unless we fundamentally do something. Here we go. You know, if we could spend $5 trillion on some kind of reconciliation infrastructure, boy, we can make some changes.
In the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah.
An irreversible problem that we're going to be facing this week, every single week. And
every single, this is the warning from MSNBC. I want you all, you evil Republicans, to listen to us. If you don't spend money and do something about climate change today, for the next 12 to 24 months, not only will we no longer be able to be here and vote in an election, but not only that, but every single day we're going to have cataclysmic hurricanes and storms and everything that you've witnessed every single day because of you. Did you know that? So stop kicking puppies. Can you do that? Can you stop kicking the poor puppies? So there's the panic merchants. They're once again going on about climate change. Now, here's the other thing that's a very important aspect to this. When you start hearing with the words climate change, when you start understanding that there are many scientists who have come out and presented evidence to the UN and other places that have said, listen, if you want to talk about climate change and what man has done and hasn't done to the environment, we can have that discussion. But when scientists, 500 of which, and I've mentioned this on a bunch of occasions, went and signed a paperwork and presented it to the UN and said, you gotta stop the panic. If you want to have the conversation, we can have it. But everything that you're saying is not true, and we need to have the conversation, and 500 scientists sign off on it. And people say, no, the science is settled, so you 500 scientists are not, what, real? You don't have real data? You're gonna be ignored? Yes, that's exactly what happens. Until you're able to do that, then we can't have the conversation about climate change. Now, it gets even better, because this is the kind of thing that you have to watch out for. Here is CNN and Jake Tapper. Right there, you got to watch out, right? CNN, I mean, I could just leave it there and just finish the whole show and say, thank you, good night, everybody, because that's what you have to watch out for is CNN and Jake Tapper. Here's the discussion that he had just the other day about the weather in Central California, how dry and windy it is, how many people understand that the reason why there are these huge wildfires in the West in places like California that are happening right now in these conditions is because of the environmentalists and what they won't do in the forests and deforesting and taking care of those areas to make it so that there isn't dry and dead wood laying around to be fuel for fires. You can't do that. You can't touch these areas. So here's Jake Tapper, and I want you to listen to this carefully because this is something that everybody needs to be aware of. Y'all need to have your... did I say y'all? I just said y'all. I just said y'all. Did I say... is that okay that I said y'all? That was really weird. My mom is going, did you just say y'all? I know. So here's Jake Tapper. Listen carefully to what he says. This is really important. Listen.
Earth Matters series today, a worst-case weather scenario is not helping firefighters in California right now. The winds kicked up around the Caldor fire as flames creep towards Lake Tahoe. On top of that, the air is dry, allowing those flames to spread even more quickly. Both conditions are a result of climate change, fueling what is now California's 17th largest fire on...
Whoa. If you weren't paying attention, it goes by really fast. Did you all notice what he said? Did you all recognize what he said? The report, he's talking about the fire, and then just as smooth as silk, he puts it in like it is an absolute, like nobody questions this, and this is what they're doing. Listen again.
On top of that, the air is dry, allowing those flames to spread even more quickly. Both conditions are a result of climate change, fueling what is now California.
Did you hear that? Just like very smooth, everybody. Smooth as silk. It's all about climate change. See, this is what they're doing right now. Not only are they ignoring the conditions on the ground and the lives lost and the things that have to be done and what needs to be taking place in the moment to take care of all the individuals, whether it's electricity and the like. What they're doing now is going with the climate change narrative and making it as if it is just as known as the day is long. We're just putting it in the report. We're not even going to question. It's absolute. It's an absolute now. And this is what they've done. And I'm just going to say that it is absolutely dangerous. It's dangerous when people do this, because then we can't have the discussion on the other side. We're not allowed to even talk about what exists and what doesn't. And I'll give you another example of what exists and what doesn't in just a second, as far as the discussion and the dangers of when somebody decides that this is just the way it is, this is the way it's going to be. If you're a Trump-supporting, conservative, freedom-loving, liberty-loving individual who believes in this country and the Constitution, you are somebody that needs to not only be dismissed, but you may even be dismissed medically. Yeah, I said that. I'm going to prove it in just a second. But there's also this story, by the way, before I get to that. Joe Manchin said maybe it's time for a pause on this massive $3.5 trillion reconciliation package. Wait, what? So you have a Democrat? Yes, you can applaud that. How about that? This is what he said yesterday as he's looking at the situation, and he dropped an op-ed right out of the blue that is making progressives shake right now. Listen to this. If you close your eyes, don't close your eyes, but if you just thought for a second, what I'm about to read to you as a conservative, you might say, well, that seems like a very conservative policy. Listen to what he said. An overheating economy has imposed a costly inflation tax on every middle and working class in America. The debt reaching record levels over the past 18 months, spending more than $5 trillion responding to the coronavirus pandemic. Democrats are talking about spending more. Ignoring the fiscal consequences of our policy choices will create a disastrous future for the next generation of Americans. Wait a minute. That's a Democrat? I thought that sure sounds like a conservative talking point right there. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about policy choices that will create a disastrous future for the next generation, but that's Joe Manchin saying that, Democrat. Congress should hit a strategic pause on the budget reconciliation legislation. The reality makes clear what's going on, that the proposed $3.5 trillion in new spending isn't to solve urgent problems, but to re-envision America's social policies. What? That is Joe Manchin. So a little tiny bit of good news here, that maybe there's a little, what do you want to call it? A crick in the, is it a crick, or is it a crease in the arm, or a crick in the back? I don't know how you would I'm not really good with those kind of expressions. But anyway, good news there. But I want to get back to this before we go to break, Jake, and it's this. I saw this story yesterday, and I thought about all the people right now who have made it a point and have been concerned about being dismissed, being told that climate change is real and you're not allowed to debate it, that was an insurrection on January 6th and you're not allowed to debate it. If you're a Trump, DeSantis supporting, conservative loving, freedom loving, liberty loving individual, that you're a crackpot and you're crazy and you're dangerous, and that's dangerous things that are going to absolutely come out of your mouth, because we know how dangerous you people can be, you right-wingers, okay? How far can this go? And this is why it's important to recognize this and be worried about it, and here it is. I don't know how many of you know about Candace Owens and what happened to her just the other day. Do you all know who Candace Owens is? Okay. Candace Owens, as Red State was talking about this, Brandon Morse had this story. You know, decades ago, Candace Owens might have been turned away from an establishment for being black. Now she's being turned away because she's conservative. Wait, what is that all about? She got an email from a COVID testing facility in Colorado. Did you all hear about this? They refused to administer a test to her because they don't like her politics. They don't like her politics, and so they're going to refuse to give her a test. How do you do? I just learned of this. This was the email she received. I've just learned of this testing request, and as the owner of this business, I'm going to refuse this booking and deny service. We cannot support anyone who has proactively worked to make this pandemic worse by spreading misinformation, politicizing, and discouraging the wearing of masks and actively dissuading people from receiving life-saving vaccinations. It goes on and on. Do you see where this can go? So for everybody who's watching me right now at drewsteele.com who wants to dismiss all of us and say, oh, listen, nothing like that's going to happen. You're not going to be denied medical services. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to have vaccine passports or anything that's going to suggest to you that unless you get vaccinated, no matter what you think about vaccines or masks, that somehow someone is going to deny you service, and even what could end up being life-saving services, that won't happen. Why would you do this? Why did this happen to her? Why would she be denied to get a test? Where if she doesn't get the test and is not able to find out whether or not she's COVID positive, and then talks to somebody about the fact that she couldn't get the test and doesn't know she's positive, and then ultimately infects that person, and that person, God forbid, passes away. Do you see the connection in how this works and who's evil and who's not in this equation? So don't think that it can't happen, because it's already being discussed in ways that we couldn't even imagine not too long ago. And we're going to keep an eye on it. And I'm just telling you what, on my watch, on their watch, on Alfie Oakes' watch, and other people's watches, this is not going to go without us talking about it, fighting back, and pushing back against this kind of a deal when it comes to what they are trying to do to the American people. And conservatives and Republicans, not on our watch, sorry. All right, 239-479-5592. We are live from Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Roads. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about that teacher, the Antifa teacher that's saying, hey, I'll give you extra credit if you bully people up and everything else. And for all these high school and elementary students, what happened to him and what did they say at the latest school board meeting? We'll get to that. And also coming up this morning, Roger Stone's going to join us by phone, and a great new song by Ben Allen will be performed here live. We're looking forward to that. A great new patriotic song here on Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
At Lamps Plus, we believe your home should be a celebration of you. As the nation's largest lighting retailer, Lamps Plus offers an incredible selection of lighting, furniture, and home decor that are sure to bring out your unique style. We help customers just like you every day beautify their indoor and outdoor spaces, and at the flip of a switch, see their home in a whole new light. Because if you can dream it, you should have it. There are infinite possibilities to bring your home to life at Lamps Plus, including custom order on-demand pieces that match your personal taste and color preference. Select from over 50,000 styles from top designer brands, including Uttermost, with a huge assortment of table lamps, floor lamps, chandeliers, and mirrors to add elegance and style to any room in your home. And now, Lamps Plus offers free shipping on all orders. Yep, free. For up to 50% off selected designs, go to lampsplus.com/Fox News now. That's lampsplus.com/Fox News for up to 50% off. Shop Lamps Plus and let yourself shine.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now, here we are 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free total inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free total inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free total inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Women frequently find themselves at the forefront during life's most challenging times, such as divorce or the loss of a loved one. Making wise, long-term decisions can feel intimidating. At FindMark, we educate women and their partners on managing their financial affairs together. Wise decision-making is essential. We can help. With locations in Naples, Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, and Estero, and online at findmarkbank.com.
Stop. Don't purchase any diamonds, jewelry, or engagement rings until you come to Duncan's Diamonds. We are not your typical jewelry store. Here are a few reasons. Family owned. Stuart Duncan and his family have been involved in the wholesale diamond business for nearly a century. No middleman. We are direct diamond importers, offering prices 30 to 40% lower than the rest, passing all those savings to you. No pressure. We are not paid on commission. We are here to help you even if you do not purchase from us and to make sure you are happy. The largest selection of diamonds and jewelry, access to millions of jewelry styles, and that is up to 30 times what you find in an ordinary jewelry store. Free services like clean and check whether you purchased from us or not. Don't take our word from a radio ad. Visit Duncan's Diamonds. We will prove we will not be undersold anywhere, anytime, by anybody. Duncan's Diamonds.
US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Off to a very busy start on the interstate. It's been a wet morning commute, and that's why we're seeing a bunch of crashes out there right now. One going on 75 southbound at mile marker 136 near the exit to Colonial Boulevard. That's causing backups all the way from about the Palm Beach Boulevard exit southbound through Luckett Road, MLK Jr. Boulevard, and approaching that Colonial exit as well. Heading out through Collier County, we also have a crash at mile marker 110 southbound right near the Vanderbilt Beach Road overpass. That's in the median, but we've had left shoulders blocked in both directions on 75. And back in Fort Myers, crash at Palm Beach Boulevard and Shoreland Drive. Looking at a crash also on Coconut Road and Imperial Parkway in Bonita Springs. Collier County, you're dealing with, looks like a crash also at Goodlett Frank Road and Vanderbilt Beach Road, one at Airport Road South and Radio Road, a Mockley Road and Collier Boulevard, a crash with no injuries, and another crash on 75, in fact, popping up mile marker 112 southbound right before you get to the exit to a Mockley Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Friday, Southwest Florida. We are heading into the upcoming holiday weekend, and today, kind of a wet way to end out the work week. Look for additional showers as we head throughout this morning with a cloudier sky. Scattered thunderstorms developing throughout the afternoon with a few persisting on into this evening, with temperatures only set to top off in the upper 80s for most. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for your Labor Day weekend. All days featuring scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures should be a little bit warmer with a little bit more sunshine in the mix, with highs in the lower 90s and added humidity feeling like the upper 90s to lower lower 100s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
True relief for back and neck pain. Did you play golf or tennis today and wish that you didn't have to deal with the back or neck pain? Do you feel hesitant to swing all the way through or run across the court because of pain? People just assume they have to live with it or just get epidurals. They are wrong. People look at it from the wrong perspective. Most people only think about treating the symptoms and not the cause. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we treat the cause using non-surgical spinal decompression, now available for anyone, not just the injured or professional athletes. Spinal decompression is a safe, non-surgical treatment that takes pressure off the nerves and discs, increasing blood circulation, allowing the back to heal. Safe, long-lasting results for sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, herniated discs, or even failed back surgery. Don't suffer. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back, 596 BACK. That's 596-2225.
Really? Selling your home? Whether you need to move because of work, moving up, or downsizing, there's a ton of stuff to worry about when selling your home. Asking too much or too little. What about home inspections, paperwork, negotiating? There's only one thing to do. Call the listing realtors that know it all. The Morrison Renault team with United Real Estate Infinity. Call 239-246-7859. They handled it all. That's 239-246-7859.
There are a lot of sales Labor Day weekend, but only Sutherland has the deals. Sutherland's deals not just save you money, they give you money
in the
too.
middle of a
With an extra
pandemic,
$6,000
and it
overbook
is
value
just-
for your trade. That's $6,000 more than your car is worth. Use the additional $6,000 as a down payment, or just keep the extra money. Shop the largest certified pre-owned dealer in the country. Nobody has more than Sutherland, because Sutherland has the deals. Just announced through Labor Day Monday. Buy any new Nissan and get a $1,000 Visa gift card. We have the selection, we have the savings, and we give you a $1,000 Visa gift card. Combine that with an extra $6,000 for your trade, and it's up to $7,000 in extra money for you. This Labor Day weekend only. As Florida's #1, Sutherland has the deals. Hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much. See dealer for details.
They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers. This is Drew Steele from 92.5 Fox News. 20 years ago, on 9/11, 2,977 perished. In their honor, in their memory, 92.5 Fox News will place one flag for each of their souls to create a field of flags in downtown Naples, starting next week on 92.5 Fox News.
Happy Labor Day, Southwest Florida. We're happy to announce you can still get the original MSRP for your trade-in, but only at Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2013 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, regardless of brand or where you bought it, Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Yes, that means whatever your car was worth when it was new, even if you didn't buy it new, that's exactly what it will be worth right now. But only here at Naples Nissan. We've got hundreds of new and like-new low-mileage pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Now is the time for you to make that upgrade. To get full details on how you can get the full original base MSRP for your trade-in, come see us at Naples Nissan here on Pine Ridge Road or visit naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, we are live. Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. We're here till 9 a.m. A lot going on this morning. I believe we'll have a call from Roger Stone coming up in just a little bit. And also, Ben Allen is going to perform We Are Americans, his new patriotic song. It's pretty awesome, so you'll get a chance to hear that live. Stop on down and listen. And you'll hear it, of course, coming up on the radio. And you can watch it at drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. And subscribe to the podcast, everybody. We appreciate you doing that. Just go to your favorite podcast location, type in Drew Steele. You'll find us, and that is a great thing. So is Alfie Oaks, and, of course, everybody here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. Let me just say this one more time. Yes, get ready to applaud one more time, because I want to thank everybody who works here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table for getting up an hour early, for being here so they can support the program, make sure that everybody has coffee and food and everything is prepared, and they come in an hour early, and I just want to thank everybody for doing that, and especially the way the weather was starting the day off today. But as you know, we got a holiday weekend, and maybe you're going to think about shopping amazingly fresh fruits and vegetables right here. Maybe you're going to be grilling. Don't forget the Farm Fresh Butcher Shop, featuring Braveheart Angus beef and maybe some New York strip or some bone-in center-cut pork chops, maybe some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I'm getting hungry. Don't forget Captain Jerry's seafood selection, farm-raised salmon and wild Chilean sea bass and the freshest wild Gulf shrimp. And complete the meal with a delicious side from the deli or fine cheeses and lunch meats from Boar's Head. It's all here right now at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. So stop by and say hi and grab some stuff for the weekend, because it's going to be busy, and you want to make sure you get here and get everything that you need. Hey, speaking of some of the things that we need, how about some of the things we don't need? We don't need to hear a lot of Joe Biden very often, but every once in a while, Joe Biden says something that is truthful. No, I'm not kidding. I know it was dead silence. Really? Yeah, here you go. This might be one of the most truthful things that Joe Biden has said in a little while. Let me just play this clip and see if you can figure it out.
And so I asked if that psalm, that hymn in the Catholic Church, and it says, "May he lift you up on eagle's wings and bear you on the breath of dawn, and let the light shine upon you," etc., and hold you in the palm of his hand. And they played, and my mind's going blank now. What's the song that is played where everybody is on the chair, everybody...
There it is. That's all you need to know. His mind has gone blank. That might be the most truthful thing Joe Biden said in a long time. His mind was going blank as he was, I guess, explaining to people on a Zoom feed something to do with the Catholic Church. Now, we had a conversation yesterday with Father Frank Pavone, and we were talking about the church, and we were talking about the Texas pro-life bill, the saving of lives bill that was passed, as opposed to a anti-abortion. I would say it's a pro-life bill that was passed there in Texas. And I guess the president was trying to explain a little bit about his Catholic faith. And of course, there are questions about whether or not, when it comes to abortion, it's a weird place to be if you're trying to explain your position on abortion and then try to explain your faith. And okay, well, let's pass that for just a second, because when it comes to the Texas law that was passed and understanding what exactly happened with the Supreme Court, the state of Texas passed this law. And it talks about private citizens being able to sue abortion providers, which allows for people who would want to stop this from happening in the state and are concerned about this as individuals to say, listen, if you hear a heartbeat 6 weeks, you're not allowed to perform an abortion. And so what ends up happening is you have individuals who can look and find out where these establishments are, and they can sue, and they would be able to get their court fees plus $10,000 to be able to do this, deputizing, you could say. And the pro-abortion crowd, the pro-death crowd is certainly apoplectic. They are beside themselves, and they don't like that this is happening. So what did they do? They found out that judges were not going to overturn this or do anything to stop this. They weren't going to do anything to put an injunction on this. They can't, because they don't know who to sue. They don't know where to go or to stop, because ultimately it's not the government that is stopping these establishments. It's private citizens. So they went right to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, listen, you got to do better. We can't be your first choice when it comes to pushing back against laws that are happening in the state. There's all kinds of municipalities and places. You're going to have to figure out other ways to do this within the state before you come to the Supreme Court. They didn't make a decision on Roe or anything else. All they said was, listen, as far as the legal aspect of this is concerned, we can't be your first choice. You're just going to have to find out. You're going to have to go through all the proper channels legally with judges in the state and go through the process and then ultimately end up here at our doorstep, which is not what they did. Now, there are some people that believe it is cruel what is happening in the state of Texas. There's one individual that was on, an abortions right activist that was on MSNBC who made that point. Listen.
It's only been one day since this law has been in effect, and already, right, clinics have been overwhelmed with people wondering, what can I do and where can I go? To suggest that people can leave the state of Texas. People don't have the means to do so. We are in the middle of a pandemic. And it is just really cruel.
It's just cruel what's happening to these individuals who are looking to get an abortion. Now, I might say it might be cruel on the other side, what is happening to babies and what is going on with their lives that are terminated. That's cruel too, but that's just me personally. You know, Jen Psaki was asked about the part with the president that has to do with his Catholic faith and how he squares this circle, if you will, of his Catholic faith. And I want you to listen to this carefully because this was something that was asked of Jen Psaki yesterday. Check this out.
Following up on the Texas law, why does the president support abortion when his own Catholic faith teaches abortion is morally wrong?
Well, he believes that it's a woman's right, it's a woman's body, and it's her choice.
Why does the president, who does he believe then should look out for the unborn child?
He believes that it's up to a woman to make those decisions and up to a woman to make those decisions with her doctor. I know you've never faced those choices, nor have you ever been pregnant, but for women out there who have faced those choices, this is an incredibly difficult thing.
Can I just stop right there for just 1 second? Listening to Jen Psaki say this, listen to this here.
And up to a woman to make those decisions with her doctor. I know you've never faced those choices, nor have you ever been pregnant.
How could she say that? I mean, how does she know? I mean, wait a minute, we're talking about birthing people, right? How do you know that he hasn't been pregnant? Excuse me, wait a second. I just want to, you told us that men can get pregnant. I thought that was a thing. So the assumption that she made that this man did not get pregnant ever and never's been, I think I'm going to take exception to that. I think there's a problem there. There is a problem with squaring the circle here, as you can see how this goes. But again, if you're talking about this specific issue, listen, it's not going away. Roe is going to be brought up in the Supreme Court. It is going to be something that is going to be presented sooner or later. There's a Mississippi case that's going to end up being there that has to do with Roe, and we're going to find out whether or not this is going to be something that in Texas we'll see. In other states, the idea that private citizens would be able to sue the abortion providers, if that's going to be something that we'll see, or whether or not it will be overturned somehow, some way, and the Supreme Court's going to make a decision. But by no means did the Supreme Court make a decision on abortion in Roe. And so when you start hearing people getting crazy and beside themselves over this issue, and here we go, this is it, the decision's been made, and no decision's been made. So we'll see where this goes. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. Oh, I did want to bring this up too. How many of you heard about the pro-Antifa teacher that was in California? Did you all hear about this? Okay. So, yeah, don't applaud it. Just you can raise your hand. Yeah. I know you were applauding to say that you did. The pro-Antifa teacher who is saying proudly that, oh, yeah, me and many others in the school district in California, oh, yeah, we teach kids. We give extra credit for kids. We want them to go out and understand what Antifa is. And if you don't like this Antifa flag that's hanging up in my classroom, then you must be one of those, those insurrectionists, right-wing, conservative, Trump-supporting, DeSantis supporting freedom. You get the idea, right? And so Project Veritas busted this guy. Ultimately, he went on to, one of these social media sites and talked about how he's a victim. I don't know if you heard this yesterday.
Thank you to every past student and colleague and friend who's reaching out right now in support of what is happening. My personal safety and security is obviously my top concern at this moment, but also they are coming for my job.
Yeah, then they did come for his job, and by the way, his job is gone. Apparently, been suspended and possibly now. Yeah, that's the word that he's Looks like he's out of a job. And, you know, some people showed up to the school board and had a few things to say about this. And I want you to hear some of what was said because, again, you know, to think that it's not going to happen in Southwest Florida, think in Collier and Lee counties, Hendry Glades, wherever you're listening, that it's never going to happen here. We've already got questions about CRT being taught in schools and some of the other things that have been going on. But some very astute individuals were there at the school board meeting. That was this teacher that we just mentioned, and the questions about others. I want you to hear a couple of these individuals before we go to break. One of them was this person who said,
I'm asking because we've been trying to get comment. We've been calling the offices. We've been emailing. So I'll ask my questions, just two that I have right now. Here are, have any prior complaints been made against Gabriel Geit, and have they been reported to Indercombe High School? If so, what were those complaints? When did they happen, and what actions were taken by the school? And if no actions were taken, why weren't they taken?
Yeah, a very good question. And at the end of the questioning with the school board, they said, could we see you afterwards and you can tell us the answer, because you won't tell us the answer now, but did you know about this and did you willingly let this happen? And there are others that you knew about. That's a very important question. But then another individual stepped up to the microphone and said this, and I want you to listen to this carefully because it does have a lot to do with what has transpired here in Southwest Florida over the years, and I think this person nailed it. I want you to listen to this carefully.
You said you're going to take action, but in his own video, he said there's other teachers at this district, at that school, that share his same beliefs and teach in the same way he does.
Right. So there's other people that are doing it, and they need to look into it, and obviously to keep an eye on this, we're asking for that. But listen to this, because, man, if this is not true, I don't know what is.
I also want to turn this around and get a little people mad at me. It is your guys' fault, but it's also the parents' fault. When Common Core came out, we let you slide. When all this sexual ed came out, we let you slide. I don't think there's time for any more. And for all these people to be shocked somehow that Antifa's new or hasn't been around, you've had a bunch of proud patriots standing the front line against these commie bastards for quite a long time. And you've allowed the fake news to destroy them instead of destroying the communists. It's all part of a bigger plan. You guys should be held responsible. Honestly, I'd be ashamed to go out and get coffee tomorrow morning.
He's talking to the school board. Did you notice what he said? How true is that? As much as we don't want to think of this, how true is that? When Common Core was out there, we all fought, but you know what? At the end of the day, we let it slide. Kind of. Not everybody did, but there were a lot of people that were trying to convince you that Common Core was a good thing. We know how that ended up. You know, with sexual education and the things that are happening in the schools that we're starting to see right now, we didn't talk a lot about that. We kind of let that slide a little bit, and ultimately, no, it's not going to happen. You're not going to see posters on of things of bathroom issues and who gets to choose what bathroom they want to be in and the like until it happened, and then everybody was surprised when you shouldn't have been. And then obviously this issue as well. You can't let this slide anymore. No longer this idea of sliding. I'm not saying everybody has, but the idea that somehow we're just going to let it all take place and we're not going to show up, woo, those days are long over, everybody, because if you've been to school boards here in Southwest Florida and across the country, we have awakened, and you have awakened what I might say is a sleeping giant. And by the way, I might even mention that maybe the former president of the United States helped to do that as well. Sorry, but Donald Trump as president of the United States made a lot of people wake up to a lot of things that were going on in this country for far too long. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. All right. 239-479-5592. I'm going to ask Jake. Jake, do we have time to do Drew's College if we take a break and come back, or are we really tight on time right now? You can be totally honest, Jake. Everybody's looking at you, so it's all about you right now. That is a no. Okay, did you just buzz me? Is that what you just did? You just buzzed me. All right, so that's a no. So we're not going to have enough time to do Drew's College. A big collective awe would be nice, like you're upset. Boy, I had to tell them to be upset about that, and okay, that was strange. All right, so when we come back, we'll take a break now. I believe we're going to have a conversation with Roger Stone on the way, and also we're going to have a live performance. Ben Allen's going to be here with a great new patriotic song live from Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Mockley Road here in Naples on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Have lunch with Clay and Buck at noon, right after Glenn Beck at 9. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Folks, this is Representative Bob Rommel. Instead of giving you an interesting Florida fact this week, I wanted to take a moment and comment on the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Like most of my listeners, I support bringing Afghanistan to an end. We had spent too much time, blood, and resources on a mission that was losing its purpose. In hindsight, we forgot the lessons of the Vietnam War. Occupation of another country is costly and often ends badly. In this case, Joe Biden's incompetence made sure it ended badly. He publicly announced the withdrawal dates. He negotiated with terrorists and endangered the lives of our troops and our civilians. On the other hand, Biden took responsibility for the decision, but he blamed our military and Trump on the chaos. You are the commander-in-chief, Mr. President. The buck stops with you. That's why I joined many retired generals calling for Biden to resign. America first. Let's keep it that way. Paid for. Bob Rommel, Republican for State Representative.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Health insurance. We all hate it, but we have to have it. Hey, Southwest Florida, it's Tyler McCluskey here. And as an insurance executive for the past 10 years, I now host a show every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. I explain everything you need to know about the health insurance industry and show you all how to save money. For more information, tune in this Saturday at 11 or call now for a free quote at 239-633-3140 or online at tylermccluskey.com.
They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers. This is Trey Radel from 92.5 Fox News. 20 years ago, on 9/11, 2,977 perished. In their honor, in their memory, 92.5 Fox News will place one flag for each of their souls to create a field of flags in downtown Naples, starting next week on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy is reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital. We're super excited to be growing roots right here in Southwest Florida and are looking forward to being a part of this community for years to come. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all our clients and partners through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here for Britt's Carpet Outlet. My friends there are fantastic and they will treat you well. Look, my wife and I, we've got kids, young kids, and animals. And sometimes the young kids are like animals, if you know what I mean. That said, I want to tell you about vinyl plank flooring that we have. It is absolutely versatile. It is totally kid-proof and pet-proof, so spills, accidents, and more, they won't be absorbed into the floor. It's waterproof, making cleanup as simple as a paper towel. Second, Brits offers luxury vinyl plank in literally hundreds of colors and styles to match any kind of decor. So light or dark oak, cool modern grays, even simulated barnwood, they got it all. Bring a scrap of fabric or a slipcover and you will find the perfect match there at Brits. Brits always features great low prices. Compare and see for yourself. Now through September 11th, Brits offers 20% off of regular priced carpet and flooring to all active and retired military. Shop Brits Carpets in Fort Myers and Cape Coral. Make sure you tell them that Trey Radel sent you.
Even the left speaker sounds right when you're listening to 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right all along. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Is this why it was such a stormy and deadly week? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
People have been warning for decades that the effect of climate change and what it would do to our communities, it's happening right now.
A lot of Democrats, like New York Governor Kathy Hochul, are saying that after Ida's remnants rained down, triggering flash floods, spawning tornadoes.
It was loud, very loud. And I thought if we go up to the top of the stairs and the house is gone, I wouldn't be surprised. I had never heard anything like that before in my
He's
life.
in Massachusetts. At least 46 people were killed in northeast states. Later today, President Biden will go to Louisiana, where Ida hit first and was deadlier than first thought. Fox's Evan Brown has an update live.
You know, Dave, 4 nursing home residents are dead. They were just some of the residents from a number of facilities made to ride out the hurricane in a warehouse in Tangipahoa Parish. One elderly resident spoke with Fox affiliate WVUE.
We were placed on beds that weren't even beds. There was just mattresses on the floor, and there were insects crawling all over the place. There were roaches, spiders, ants.
Louisiana's health department is now investigating. Meanwhile, the power is still out in most of southern Louisiana. Entergy, which supplies power to New Orleans, says they've restored about 111,000 customers so far, Dave.
Evan, Democrats are pushing back on Texas, where new laws in effect banning most abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi wants to block pro-life state laws with a federal one codifying the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court ruling allowing abortions.
Protecting women's rights wherever they live across the country.
An ISIS terrorist, known as one of the Beatles for their British accents in those horrible beheading videos, pleaded guilty in a U.S. court last night. Alexander Anand-Cote admitted to his role in kidnapping and killing 4 Americans.
He has agreed to spend the rest of his life in prison.
U.S. Attorney Raj Parekh Cote and another ISIS terrorist who faces trial were captured in 2018. Later this hour, the employment report expected to show more than 700,000 jobs created last month. America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Off to a very busy start on the interstate. It's been a wet morning commute, and that's why we're seeing a bunch of crashes out there right now. One going on 75 southbound at mile marker 136 near the exit to Colonial Boulevard. That's causing backups all the way from about the Palm Beach Boulevard exit southbound through Luckett Road, MLK Jr. Boulevard, and approaching that Colonial exit as well. Heading out through Collier County, we also have a crash at mile marker 110 southbound right near the Vanderbilt Beach Road overpass. That's in the median, but we've had left shoulders blocked in both directions on 75. And back in Fort Myers, crash at Palm Beach Boulevard and Shoreland Drive. Looking at a crash also on Coconut Road and Imperial Parkway in Bonita Springs. Collier County, you're dealing with, looks like a crash also at Goodlett Frank Road and Vanderbilt Beach Road, one at Airport Road South and Radio Road. A Mockley Road and Collier Boulevard, a crash with no injuries, and another crash on 75, in fact, popping up mile marker 112 southbound right before you get to the exit to a Mockley Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Friday, Southwest Florida. We are heading into the upcoming holiday weekend, and today, kind of a wet way to end out the work week. Look for additional showers as we head throughout this morning with a cloudier sky. Scattered thunderstorms developing throughout the afternoon, with a few persisting on into this evening, with temperatures only set to top off in the upper 80s for most. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for your Labor Day weekend. All days featuring scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures should be a little bit warmer with a little bit more sunshine in the mix, with highs in the lower 90s and added humidity feeling like the upper 90s to lower 100s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Looking for 92.5 Fox News online? Big news. You'll be all set when you go to rightallalong.net.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. I'm the president of New South Window Solutions. What I like people to understand about our company is what's unique about us. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. We go out of our way to make it easy. If you're thinking about buying new windows, consider New South. Don't even think about buying windows from anyone else till you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers.
Going on now, save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Millions of Americans are preparing for food shortages. No wonder. With increasing bizarre news headlines, water shortages, and the trucking crisis, we're seeing the early warning signs. Food shortages can happen overnight, catching you completely by surprise. That's why it makes good sense to secure some emergency food kits while you can. Emergency food that stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage, unlike grocery store food that goes bad fast. The company to trust is My Patriot Supply. We've served millions of American families in recent years. Our food kits give you over 2,000 calories a day, which is what your body needs under stress to survive. We ship fast and discreet to your door. You'll have your food within days, too, not weeks or months. Our mission is your survival, and our food could definitely be a lifesaver when the peanut butter hits the fan. So don't wait. It's time to act. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live, drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching and subscribing to the podcast and being here live at this Oaks Farm Seed the Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road here in Naples. Of course, what a great place. Everything you need for the holiday weekend. Picnics, backyard grilling, feast for the family. Everything in the store fresh, made from scratch, fresh baked breads, rolls, and sweet treats from the bakery. And Southwest Florida's largest selection of fresh produce. Over 100 different items coming to you directly from Oaks Farm-owned local farms. And Captain Jerry's Seafood, delivering the freshest seafood and the best selection. It is just an amazing place to shop. And come on down here and get your shopping done for this weekend at Oaks Farm Seed the Table, once again at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. All right, Trumparilla, what is that all about? What is going on? This is going to be a big event that you're not going to want to miss here in Southwest Florida. And one of the people that will be at the event, and I'm so excited to talk about it and with him this morning, because there's a lot that's going on in the news, and certainly with Trumparilla, is Roger Stone. Roger Stone joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Good morning, sir. It's Drew Steele. How are you?
Good morning. Delighted to be with you.
Well,
you're absolutely right. This is going to be an extraordinary weekend right there in Fort Myers.
Yep, no doubt about it. And, before we get into some of the details, and certainly the VIP event, a chance to hang out with you, and that would be so awesome. A lot of people have been talking about what has been transpiring in the news lately, and I really wanted to get your thoughts on this. Everything that has happened and transpired with this administration, and if you can give me your thoughts about, clearly you're not surprised. You're not surprised at what has happened with this administration, and many of the concerns that people had a long time ago, which was that if we do not have Donald Trump as president of the United States, and somebody who's going to be honest about what is going on in the world, and somebody who's going to project strength, certainly, that we were going to end up in a mess like this. So I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Well, first of all, Donald Trump gave us the most robust, productive economy in American history. We're talking about record wage growth, record job growth, historic low levels of unemployment among all Americans, men, women, African American, Hispanic, Asian, young, old. It really was a Trump boom economy, ultimately brought low by the COVID-19 lockdowns. If you look around the world, the weakness projected by Joe Biden is manifest. The Iranians are raining rockets on Israel. The Russians hacked our pipeline and gave it back to us just to let us know they could do it. The North Koreans have restarted their nuclear weapons program. The Russians are massed on the border of Crimea, ready to make their move on Ukraine. The Chinese are harassing U.S. flagged vessels in the South China Sea. That would never have been permitted under Donald Trump. And now you see that the Taliban, watching the sanctions on Iran being removed, and seeing the unilateral withdrawal of our troops without any air support. In other words, Biden's fatal mistake in Afghanistan was not continuing the drawdown of American troops in these endless foreign wars. Indeed, that's what Donald Trump got elected on. It was not using our drone technology in highly sophisticated strategic strikes against the Taliban and other air power to keep them pinned down while we were, in essence, retreating. And then additionally, it is in every historic military procedure, you always remove your equipment before you remove your troops. We removed our troops and left the Taliban $8 billion worth of military equipment, making them, at this point, I think maybe the fourth best armed army in the world.
Yeah. And, you have seen it all. And, the question becomes, how would anybody think any different of Joe Biden? Joe Biden, who we are told, back in the 70s, 75, and the leaving there in Saigon, how he was there as a lot of the discussions were being made about that particular time period, and how we all knew that this was the individual that he was even back then. Can you speak to a little bit of that? I mean, that wasn't shocking to you that this would be a move that Joe Biden would make, right?
No, I can't say that it is, but I also don't think, in all reality, that Joe Biden is in control of his own administration. I mean, I think there's very substantial evidence that the president, God bless him, clearly seems to be suffering from severe memory loss, confusion, and what appears to me to be the early onset of dementia. He has better days than others. He has better speeches than others, but his statement on Afghanistan was an outrage. Why in the world would you blame Donald Trump? When President Trump withdrew troops from Afghanistan or Syria or Iraq, he utilized American technology and American air power to cover our withdrawal.
Yeah.
This is textbook stuff. But Joe Biden, the foreign policy genius, who in fact, as you know, has been wrong on every major foreign policy issue for the last 30 years, really botched this very badly.
Yeah. Roger Stone is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's going to be at Trumparilla here in Southwest Florida. It's a big event coming up the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of September, and we're going to give you all those details coming up because you're not going to want to miss this. And a chance to meet Roger Stone, as a matter of fact, right here in Southwest Florida, so we're going to get to that coming up in just a second. There is something to be said, though, certainly about who's running the show. You brought that up. It is amazing how you have people who are running the show who not only through the State Department, the military and others who have just this unicorn imagination of rainbows and unicorns, that everything is going to be perfect in a perfect world, and that the Taliban is different, and if we have bigger government, it's going to be better government, and socialism just hasn't been done by America properly, and so if we did it this way, you'll see how grand it'll be. There's that aspect of it. But also, can you speak to not only that, but even the parts, the pieces, the people that have been involved with this administration that are not just a throwback, but literally people from the Obama administration, people that have been in place that are certainly not looking out for the best interest of the American people, but just quite the opposite, some of the things that they are doing, not only with speech, but certainly with running the country and bigger government.
Well, in fact, I think this is really Obama 3.0. I think this is his third term. It appears to me that Susan Rice, who should have been prosecuted for illegally unmasking Trump supporters during the presidential campaign and was deeply involved in the illegal surveillance and the abuse of the authority of the U.S. government in a politically motivated witch hunt, appears to be running foreign policy. Ron Klain, former chief of staff to Joe Biden when he was in the U.S. Senate, also former chief of staff to Vice President Al Gore, appears to be running domestic policy. My sources tell me that both of them are a ubiquitous presence at the Obama compound there in Colorama in Washington, D.C. And as you know, this breaks a long tradition. Traditionally, American presidents leave the Washington area after they've served their term or 2 terms. Obama is clearly running this administration, and I think that is abundantly clear. We clearly have the specter of lockdowns hanging over our heads and what could be an effort to further strangle our economy. It's very hard to see how the American people could weather that. So anyway, let's talk about something upbeat, which is going to be this weekend's festivities.
You bet.
This is a phenomena I've never seen before. It's not a presidential year. The presidential campaign is more than 3 years away. But the grassroots enthusiasm for the America First agenda and for the golden era of Trump and its return is still dominant in the Republican Party, still, I believe, a majority in the country. And this weekend is basically going to be a celebration. The fact that we are still free to declare our doubts about the last election, that we are still free to compare the incredible achievements of the Trump administration with the ignominious disaster that is Joe Biden. In all honesty, at the VIP party on Saturday, we're going to drink, we're going to dance, we're going to laugh, and we're going to make fun of liberals. It's going to be a good time. It's selling out pretty quickly, so I urge you to go to their website to get your tickets. And, of course, then on Sunday, this is followed by the epic boat parade, the Fort Myers-based boat parade. Now, there's a MAGA fest that starts at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. There's the VIP party Saturday evening from 4 to 7. And then lastly, of course, there is the magnificent boat parade where I will once more be the Commodore, the Grand Marshal of the parade. So I'm very psyched about this because normally in an off year, in the Republican Party, the starchy old country club Republican Party, you would never see this kind of grassroots enthusiasm.
Right. Yeah. There's no doubt that people are excited about the boat parade and certainly the opportunity to see you as well. And you hit it right on the head, which is that in any other time period, it's hard to believe that you would have the kind of turnout that you would have for the former President Trump on any given day, let alone when you have individuals, freedom-loving, liberty-loving individuals who are looking, again, to bring MAGA back and want to get together and remind everybody that they haven't gone away, sir. They are not gone by any stretch of the imagination. This is going to be quite the MAGA fest and the VIP party. Tomorrow, September 3rd, there's going to be the meet and greet, an opportunity to meet Roger Stone. And then on the 5th, the big boat parade in Fort Myers. Now, if you want to get more details on how you can get tickets for the meet and greet, the location of the boat parade, and all the information, you go to Trumparilla, Trumparilla, Trumparilla.com/SWFLA, Trumparilla.com/SWFLA, and you can get all the details there so you can be a part of it. And once again, before we go, I just have to say that, you know, there's a point there to be made that I think is so critical, and that is that it really hasn't gone away. This movement has not left, and those that doubt it just need to be there this weekend to once again be fired up and ready to go as we head into the future.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, frankly, for a little relaxation, because this past week, President Trump and I were sued in a completely baseless, groundless, unsubstantiated lawsuit by some crazy left-wing lawyers group called the Lawyers for Civil Rights Under the Law, which is anything but.
Yeah.
This comes on the heels of a outrageous Department of Justice civil suit against my wife and I, which implies but has no proof that we have somehow evaded taxes or living a secret, lavish lifestyle. It's complete nonsense. I will prove that in court. It's harassment.
Yeah.
My accountant, my tax lawyer can demonstrate that I have declared taxes on every penny that I've made, and I've hidden no assets, as the government falsely claims in their complaint. But this is lawfare. This is harassment. It is born of the bloodlust on the left because, thanks to President Trump's pardon, I escaped the deadly snare set for me by Robert Mueller and Adam Schiff and those other criminals. And as you know, then shockingly, only weeks ago, we learned that my sweet, beautiful wife of 30 years, Anita Stone, my rock during the trial and the entire ordeal, has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She's waging an epic struggle against that. So, look, I'm still a deep state target. They just won't stop. It's because I'm loyal to Donald Trump. It's because I refuse to bear false witness against him. Folks who want to help us in the struggle can go to stonedefensefund.com. I'm looking just between those two lawsuits at another $250,000 in legal fees. Believe it or not, there are 12 other pending harassment civil suits against me caused by the Mueller witch hunt. I have to defend those even though they're baseless. Frankly, the very best therapies, all natural, holistic, homeopathic therapies to boost one's natural immunity during a cancer fight, like vitamin infusions and THC, CBD oil that are specifically made as anti-cancer agents. These are very expensive. So folks who want to help us can go to stonefamilyfund.com to help my wife and our family in this fight against cancer. And you can go to stonedefensefund.com to help arm me for the legal fight ahead. I was hoping my life would go back to normal. I was hoping I would be able to be gainfully employed again, but the internet censorship, the deplatforming has made the sales of my books and the monetizing of my commentary extraordinarily difficult. And frankly, it's a struggle. So God bless the many patriots praying for my wife, praying for me, praying for us in our ongoing struggle with the deep state. And I'll see you Saturday.
Absolutely.
Let's get together and have a good time.
All right.
Look forward to making America great again.
You bet. Well, prayers to you and your family. We will continue, certainly, and look forward to seeing you. Roger Stone, everybody. Roger Stone joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. I'll make sure to make it a point before we leave the program to give everybody the address and all of the emails, the websites again, so that you can be on top of what is going on. Roger Stone, I appreciate a few minutes of your time, sir, and we'll see you this weekend. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
239-479-5592. Again, TrumpBarilla.com is the website. You can go there to find out more about how you can be at a special VIP event with Roger Stone tomorrow. And then the big boat parade. And again, once again, to show everybody that the America First agenda is still there, the fight's still there, and we have not gone anyplace. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back in just a little bit, we got some great live music coming up that we're looking forward to. Ben Allen's going to be here. We're going to talk about a great new song and head into the holiday weekend on an up note. Certainly, we'll do that coming up. Live from Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn. as well as an irrigation program which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $70 off any electrical repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888. Sparky.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
The economy's up, unemployment is down, and home sales are on the rise again.
Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Dick.
And I'm Harry. And we're real estate agents.
Well, it looks like it's that time of year again, where every Tom, Dick, and Harry thinks they can sell real estate.
If you want a qualified and experienced team to sell your home, call the Morrison Renault team with United Real Estate Infinity. Call 239-246-7859. That's 239-246-7859.
There are a lot of sales Labor Day weekend, but only Sutherland has the deals. Sutherland's deals not just save you money, they give you money too. With an extra $6,000 overbook value for your trade, that's $6,000 more than your car is worth. Use the additional $6,000 as a down payment, or just keep the extra money. Shop the largest certified pre-owned dealer in the country. Nobody has more than Sutherland, because Sutherland has the deals. Just announced through Labor Day Monday. Buy any new Nissan and get a $1,000 Visa gift card. We have the selection, we have the savings, and we give you a $1,000 Visa gift card. Combine that with an extra $6,000 for your trade, and it's up to $7,000 in extra money for you. This Labor Day weekend only. As Florida's #1, Sutherland has the deals. Hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Well, is the little pill working yet?
Men, these days could be a thing of the past. Hello, this is Dr. Lou Spangler at Neogenics.
Recent advances in non-surgical treatment for erectile dysfunction, combining high-frequency shockwave therapy with the P-shot, which utilizes platelet-rich plasma, can help restore your virility. These treatments help restore blood flow to the penis and rejuvenate penile tissues, resulting in longer, stronger, firmer, more satisfying erections. Both treatments are simple, in-office procedures, and there is no pain and no downtime. You can resume all normal activities immediately after treatment, including sexual activity. Men, you don't have to suffer anymore. If you have erectile dysfunction or simply want to improve your sexual function, call Neogenics at 239-277-9999 for a free consultation. That's Neogenics at 277-9999. Again, 277-9999.
Check it at 1, 2. Yep. 1, 2. All right.
We're going to do, you guys are going to sit here first to talk.
Looking for 92.5 Fox News Online? Big news. You'll be all set when you go to rightallalong.net.
It's at least 46 deaths reported in flooding in the mid-Atlantic. Some rivers in New Jersey could crest and overflow in places today. And the president gets a briefing on storm recovery efforts in the South.
President Biden will spend part of today in southeastern Louisiana touring damage and meeting with officials and others to get a first-hand look at conditions and be told in person what is needed and how he could help. Hundreds of thousands are still not getting electrical power back. The utility companies say it could take weeks for a full restoration.
Fox's Evan Brown. The owners of 2 dating sites are pledging money to fight abortion restrictions in Texas.
Austin-based Bumble and Dallas-based Match Group announced funds supporting the reproductive rights of Texas workers following the state being allowed to enforce a ban on abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga is resigning at the end of the month after just a year in office. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. We have a disabled vehicle on I-75 northbound, the exit to Bayshore Road, blocking a left lane. A crash still at mile marker 139 southbound off to the shoulder, still causing delays heading south to Colonial Boulevard, and a crash at mile marker 137 near the Colonial exit southbound, still blocking a left-hand lane. In Collier County, a crash at mile marker 115 right at the county line, southbound off to the left-hand shoulder. Major backups coming down from Bonita Beach Road toward Immokalee Road. A crash in the median at mile marker 112 right before the Immokalee Road exit. Another, and also in the median at mile marker 110. And heading farther south to the Pine Ridge Road exit at mile marker 107, we've got a crash on the entrance ramp from Pine Ridge to 75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Friday, Southwest Florida. We are heading into the upcoming holiday weekend, and today, kind of a wet way to end out the work week. Look for additional showers as we head throughout this morning with a cloudier sky. Scattered thunderstorms developing throughout the afternoon, with a few persisting on into this evening, with temperatures only set to top off in the upper 80s for most. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for your Labor Day weekend. All days featuring scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures should be a little bit warmer with a little bit more sunshine in the mix, with highs in the lower 90s and added humidity feeling like the upper 90s to lower 100s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
They were fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers. This is Trey Radel from 92.5 Fox News. 20 years ago, on 9/11, 2,977 perished. In their honor, in their memory, 92.5 Fox News will place one flag for each of their souls to create a field of flags in downtown Naples, starting next week on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, I'm Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. You've heard me say we're the working and retired person's country club. This means coming in for a meal, a drink, or with a party, and we will obtain your complete satisfaction with our food, service, and value. We strive for excellence with your service experience and our food. So on the rare occasion we fall short, tell us and we'll fix it. Plus, at Stevie Tomatoes, there are no pretenses, no attitudes, high prices, or rushing you in or out. Come relax, enjoy yourself, and be yourself. At Stevie's, we love meeting the men and women who currently and in the past work hard to make America great. We appreciate their values, honesty, industriousness, and affection for this great country. So head to Stevie's, where we strive for excellence in everything we do. I guarantee it. In Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Happy Labor Day, Southwest Florida. We're happy to announce you can still get the original MSRP for your trade-in, but only at Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2013 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, regardless of brand or where you bought it, Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Yes, that means whatever your car was worth when it was new, even if you didn't buy it new, that's exactly what it will be worth right now. But only here at Naples Nissan. We've got hundreds of new and like-new low-mileage pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Now is the time for you to make that upgrade. To get full details on how you can get the full original base MSRP for your trade-in, come see us at Naples Nissan here on Pine Ridge Road or visit naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Replace your AC today, go on a cruise tomorrow. Island Air wants to send you to the island. Matt here from Island Air of Southwest Florida with some great news.
Decisions. Do I buy an air conditioner? Do I take a vacation? For a limited time, Island Air is offering you both in one package.
Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
All right, we are live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. Yes, you can make some noise as we are getting ready to head into the holiday weekend. And, so I'm sitting in my computer, minding my own business. Well, it's not really minding my own business in my house because I have a 12-year-old son. So there really is no minding your own business, anything that you do with a 12-year-old son. And I got this great email from a friend of mine, Alan James, who I've known for the better part of, I'm going to say, can I say, is it 30 years, 25 years? How long has it been? You can use the microphone. Wait a minute. Let me turn this up. Let's see if we can hear you. Are you there? Let's see. Go ahead.
First time in the business.
Yeah. Is this your first time with a microphone? I got to work on this.
Yeah,
okay.
I never had a microphone.
All right. So, and then my good friend Alan James, we'll talk to him in just a second, said I've got this great new song you've got to hear from Ben Allen. Ben Allen. Everybody knows Ben Allen. It's called "We Are Americans." And I said, I want to go into the weekend with a live performance. Can you get a hold of Ben? And here he is, Ben Allen. Everybody. Can we have a nice round of applause for Ben showing up here this morning and getting up early? Ben, how are you today, Ben? How are you, Ben? You okay?
I'm doing good, man. How's everything this morning?
I don't know. Everybody can hear me okay. I just want to make sure. All right, so we're excited that you're going to be performing this song in just a couple of minutes as we are live here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. First of all, as I was talking to you, Alan, about the song, how did you guys get together? How did this all happen? And tell a little bit about your history as well.
My history is I spent 12 years performing lead guitarist and musical director for Roy Orbison. done 12 world tours, and also worked with Gary Pocket, who's a co-writer with Ben of this song. So I've worked with, I think, aside from Ben, two of the most amazing rock singers in musical history. I've worked with them both. And now Ben, so that's three now.
Right.
And then me.
And Ben. And Ben, it's been kind of, by the way, it's been kind of a whirlwind for you, right? I mean, with everything that's happened with The Voice, and certainly everything here locally, the people here locally who, I got to tell you, the response was amazing. People love you. They love what you do. Talk a little bit about that in your life and how things have been up to this point.
The last year has been amazing for me. I spent about 6 months out in LA doing the show. That was an awesome time, stuff I'll never forget about. That's stuff nobody can ever take that away from me. And I come home and have the response that Southwest Florida has provided for me since I've been back has just been over the top, more than I would have ever imagined. It's awesome.
Yeah. And by the way, in case you haven't noticed, I think it was Kelly Clarkson that mentioned about your voice, too. Not only great singing voice, but speaking voice. So soon, maybe that's what we got to do. We get you some speaking parts on some stuff. Has anybody...
Some good voiceovers.
That's
would work.
right.
Yes,
Let's
please.
get some good voiceover stuff. All right. So together, give me the genesis of the song. How did this all come together? The two of you meeting, the writing of the song. Go through the whole thing.
Well, I'll start off with, first of all, during lockdown last year in August, Gary Pocket sent me some lyrics, which was called I Am an American Then. So I put the music together, we changed the lyrics a little bit, and we came up with this song. And Donald Trump's photographer is a close friend of mine, so I sent it to her. And she sent it to Donald Jr., and they were raved about the song, but then there was the re-election coming, which got to be very challenging, as you know, so they kind of forgot about it. We kind of brought it around again, and I told Gary, let's try We Are Americans. And we took it to Ben, because Ben and I have been friends for a long time. And Ben gave it a nice little country twist, which really brought the song together, and this is what it is today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We reworked some of the imagery in the lyrics of the song to make it what I felt would fit a little better for country fans out there. And it felt more... truthful for me to be singing it for some of my own words in the mix, so it definitely helped out for
Yeah, maybe you can speak to that, because ultimately when you hear the song, and I'm telling you, you'll get emotional, you will feel every lyric, you'll feel everything when you hear this song, and maybe you can speak to that, because there is something to be said about where we are right now in this country, where we've been, where we're going, and how the opportunity to be someone like you that has the ability to speak to this directly, to have people listen to what you have to say in song. Not only is that special to be able to do that, I mean, Alan can talk about that as well, the idea of writing a song and be able to speak to people directly, but to speak to people about something like this and what that means to you. Maybe talk a little bit about that and the lyrics and what it is about it that means so much to you.
We put this song together at a time where we felt like Americans are just are being pulled in so many different separate directions. And there are so many valid issues out there going on that everybody has opinions on and are disagreeing with one another about. But at a core level, we wanted to say, don't forget that we're Americans. We're all brothers and sisters standing shoulder to shoulder. We're not nose to nose. We don't have to be fist to fist. We can be brothers and sisters as Americans, first and foremost, and remember to respect one another. As we disagree, we can still respect one another. So
yeah. And Alan, you have spent time with the Trump family. I mean, maybe you can speak to that, and maybe your feeling about all of this as well. I mean, as a co-writer on the song, that has special meaning.
Well, this is a very, very powerful song, and when we finished it, it went through several transitions. When we finished it and we said, this is it, and when Ben did the Pledge of Allegiance at the end, it just took off like crazy. We sent it to some friends. Everybody, man, women, child, said they cried when they listened to the song.
Yeah.
Now, there's two reasons people cry when they listen to a song. Either it's sang really badly or the song's very powerful. In this case,
it could be either one, Alan. It could be either one.
In this case, Ben killed it. He absolutely killed it. He put the magic on this song, and it's a very powerful song.
Yeah, and through the years, as you have the opportunity to write songs and pour your heart out into a song, and I think that when it comes to music, and obviously as someone who has the love of music as I have had for many years, and both of you as well, there's something special and transcending about music that speaks to people, speaks to their heart, and it's like no other communication to me in so many different ways, whether it's melodically, musically, specifically, and so that part of it is something. You know, when I think about you being on the show, right? And do you have the opportunity to pick the songs when you were up there? Was it your choice? Was it the producer's choice?
It's a bit of a mix on there. It's you definitely have some say-so in it. You may not have the final say, but you definitely have say-so for sure. Yeah.
Which I like because that if you look at that would give an opportunity for people to see and maybe hear a little bit of what you're thinking, of what your heart is like, and maybe both of you can speak to this as well. The fact that where we are today and the concerns of free speech and where we're going with speech and how there are certain people that love the idea of speech and free speech as long as they're the ones that are the arbiters of what you can and cannot say. It's kind of quite a crazy dynamic. Maybe, Ben, you could speak to this first. Have you been concerned about that? Have you been worried about that issue? And as you write songs, because there are people that I've talked to that say things like, I get worried about what I'm going to write. I get worried that if I write something that is true to my heart and true to my soul, that it's going to end up on my computer and it's never going to leave it, because the minute somebody hears the lyrics, they're going to be like, I'm out. Certain people, not necessarily the majority of individuals, but you know how that plays into it. You don't think about that.
It is something, unfortunately, that you have to think about as a writer, for the fact of even the idea of, if you write something that is from your heart and it makes sense today, well, what about 20 years from now when the climate around people, things change and people interpret that in a different way, and in a way, how many times do you see people going back and taking people's behaviors from many years ago and applying it today, and it fit then but it doesn't fit now?
Yeah. What about some, Alan? I'm not looking at you as the elder of the bunch here or anything like that. I'm not saying go back way, way, way back, way back when Joe Biden was in middle school. And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that, to that point, as someone who plays the songs of the era of the past, let's just put it that way, that you could see there are some songs that speak to that time period and a generation that are transcendent. They just go through the years and through all of that. And some of them I don't know. Are there ones that don't? What about that?
Well, the interesting part about this song is, what I haven't told you is, it was originally, the tagline was going to be "Make America Great Again." When I played that to some people just to test it, they assumed it was a Trump song, white supremacist. So we decided to let's make it "Save America Again," because I think that the lyric is so positive and non-divisive.
Right.
That's the main thing about this song. And that's
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a major part of this as well. All right, I'm looking at the time, and I'm thinking to myself, are you all ready to hear the song? I'm ready to hear the song. All right, so let's do this. Let's make a little bit of a switch. Let's send you over there, so to speak. I'm pointing out towards the audience where the chairs are right there. And we'll have Ben and Alan make their way over, and we'll get a chance to hear this song, and kind of going to switch things over a little bit to get everything working. We'll see if we have the guitar that's up. And there you go. Yep, we've got that. We'll get that microphone moved over as well. There you go. Ben's up there as well. All right, good. And we've got you just snap. There you go. We've got the camera work being worked. If you're watching at TrueSteele.com right now, no, the earth isn't shaking. Everything is fine. Let me just let me switch that over, because if you're watching, you're thinking, what in the world is happening here? All right, there you go. Let's get my camera guy ready for everybody to see at TrueSteele.com, and he's ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ben Allen with the song "We Are Americans."
We fly a flag that stands for freedom. We wear a badge of faith. But I think it's about time we remember what our founders put in place. I take a knee for no one unless it's God himself. How about we stand strong together, whatever hand we're dealt? We are Americans, patriots through and through. We are Americans. When we bleed, it's red, white, and blue. We are Americans. The way we love this land, and together we'll do whatever it takes to save America again. Oh, freedom, it ain't just a word. It's our constitutional right. If anybody tries to spit on our flag, it's all as one that we should fight. Yeah, we say one nation under God, but our path has been reversed. We need to get back to the days gone by when we put our country first. We are Americans, patriots through and through. We are Americans. When we bleed, it's red, white, and blue. We are Americans. Oh, the way we love this land, and together we'll do whatever it takes to save America again. We are Americans, patriots through and through. We are Americans. When we bleed, it's red, white, and blue. We are Americans. All the way we love this land, and together we'll do whatever it takes to save America again.
Yes! Woo! That is Ben Allen, everybody, and We Are Americans. I told you it was an awesome song. Ben Allen, everybody, come on.
There you go.
All right, we are live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road here in Naples, and I'm so happy we had the opportunity to do this and leading into a holiday weekend where we're going to get time to spend with friends and family. And I was thinking to myself that there would need to be a really special way that we can head into the weekend as we are spending time with friends, that no matter what is going on with friends and family, that we shouldn't forget what has transpired in the past couple of weeks and months, and certainly to remember everything that has been happening, and patriotically to stand together, as there are many people that are going to be doing that this weekend. And certainly our prayers and our thoughts are with our U.S. Men and women serving overseas, serving this country each and every day to protect our liberties and freedom. We never, ever forget that, never. And there's a lot going on coming up this week, as you can imagine, with 9/11 on the way. We've got a very special week of events planned and things that are going to be taking place. So I want to thank Ben Allen and, of course, Alan James, both being here today to perform this song live. And maybe you can give us a little bit as we lead our way out of the show today. It's at a 92.5 Fox News right all along. And here we go, just a little bit of We Are Americans. Give us the chorus as we lead our way out for this broadcast today.
We are Americans. We're patriots through and through. We are Americans. When we bleed, it's red, white, and blue. We are Americans. All the way we love this land, and together we'll do whatever it takes to save America again.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Have a fantastic weekend. Glenn Beck is next, and we will see you next week. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along. We'll find out what's going on with traffic right now, and also the weather. Find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up. Let's find out what's going on with Casey Sherman right now. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
Keeping it right here. We're 92.5.